All right, we're live.
We are live, pal.
All right, so
Like, subscribe, and we will be getting down and dirty with the week that was in about three, two, uh, whatever. We hit the drop, nigga. It's simple.
yo, it could have gone any. Oh man, yo! Welcome to the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. This is God the Most High. I'm on my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bay.
What's
And
good? What's good,
apologies for
everybody?
the audio. Apologies off top before we get anything for the audio audience who won't. Well, if you are only audio, listen. We're on YouTube. Please, Reasonable Wrestling YouTube search. But if you only listen to us on audio and you just hear us laughing, cackling all throughout the intro, please, if you ain't never watched this, go watch us. Just go.
Now, yeah, I don't have
Just,
to watch it.
just
But
catch the first minute and a half of what you're listening to. Just watch it on YouTube, man.
man,
You can't do it any better than. Go
listen,
ahead,
a man
CJ.
gotta eat. I've been starving all day, dog. But yeah, man, we're here with the Underground Wrestling Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us. If you're on audio, follow us there and like it as well. Thank you guys for listening. You can catch us on the medias of Socialness, RW Podcast One on Twitter. You can catch us on Reasonable Wrestling Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. All the medias of Socialness, just type in Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, and you should be able to find us, or RW Podcast One, like I said, on Twitter. Yeah, and we're here to talk about the week that was in professional wrestling. Now, I'm gonna let you kick it off because you had such a good breakdown of all the topics we should hit this week. So where do you want to start off on?
Well, I would say first and foremost that according to the show topics or the run sheet per se, I guess like the hottest thing or the most impactful thing that happened this week is the most latest thing that happened this week. You know what I'm saying? And sorry, AEW Rampage, I know you literally are the latest thing that happened this week, but what we talking about is if you watch SmackDown Live, and I know we kind of really don't do, which we say we wanted to get away from the review show, but I know it's a few people, and I won't say a lot of people because they'll love to toot my own horn, but there's a few people that tap in with the podcast and don't watch wrestling, so we kind of do give them a little synopsis.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So it's Friday, I'll play my CT role. He did it last week. I'll do it this week. Yesterday, SmackDown. The thread of the show was Jay called out Sammy. We all know what had played out. Like I said, CT played it out where Sammy thought that Jay was going to get, come on his side of the fence, super kick the shit out that nigga, beat his ass. Cody made the save. Cody's now involved in it, right? So we are there. Fast forward. Friday starts off the show. Cody comes out. And this is on the heels of him cutting a very good promo. So I'll weave in and out between because everything kind of is a thread together.
Yeah.
So Monday started off the week, and I text you. I was like, "Yo, Cody's made for this shit." You know what I'm saying? And
Did.
I'm saying made for this shit, not necessarily like he wasn't made for it in AEW, right? Because if he wanted to be an executive, like, listen, Cody and Tony could have made a really great team together, because if you're paying attention to what's going on with Tony, I think he has a lot on his plate going on. It's a lot to deal with, especially when you're trying to, do it. I think Cody being a real life executive, stepping away from the ring, doing better what Triple H is doing, the Triple H. If you wanted to do all that, I think him and Tony would have been a great fit for each other. But because he wanted to do both, and he wanted to be on screen, and he wanted to be behind the scenes, he then himself had too much on his plate. That eroded the character in that company, in that direction. He had to eat it that he wasn't going to go for the champion, all types of shit that kind of handcuffed him and pigeonholed him to where he couldn't just be a performer that we buy into, that we go on along for the ride because we don't have anything else involved in what's going on. Ever since Cody came back to the WWE, he has strictly been about I'm a boy. I'm part of I'm part of the boys. I'm part of the locker room, and I got something that I came back for that ain't got shit to do with the corner office. That ain't got shit to do with New York. That ain't got what I got is for me to hit these towns, hit these roads, sell this merch. I want to be the man of a company, and I want to be the man of the company. You know what I'm saying? With respect, I want to be the man in the company.
And so, real quick, want to just mention, like, I think that Cody Rhodes, no pun intended, through the Indies, through New Japan, and then creating AEW and then being an executive, I think really groomed him to be the man in WWE. And like, I think you get a certain vantage point by doing all the things he did, especially the executive part, because now you know, like, okay, I'm seeing it from a whole different lens of how do we build stars and get them over, as well as get the TV deal at the same time, and how we get we need the Hasbro toys to be sold. Like, you're looking at it from that lens, and you see the technicalities of that as well. How do you gather the crowd and have them buy into you on a certain level when you're on the microphone? And it got to the point where his voice rang hollow in AEW after after 2 years of him being the good old boy. And hey, I'm not sure if that will. It probably will still happen in WWE at some point, but right now it's not that point. I think that when you can just focus on being one of the boys, like you're saying, and being part of the locker room, and you've had that experience being an executive, it's almost like there's a weight off your shoulder of being the executive, but now you can just focus on what you would want from your superstars, and you can just display it, go out there and perform it to the best of your ability. And like he always says, the beautiful thing about Cody is that he's not playing a character; he's just himself, and he's fallen into a groove where it's just completely organic and natural.
And that's the thing, right? In AEW, him being himself was we knowing him wanting to be like he wanted to take down the evil empire. You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted,
can't do that.
We can't buy into that performance because listen, you got to have some type of narcissistic assholeness about you. You know
what's funny? That narcissism that we felt in AEW, where it's like, damn, everything is fucking bigger with Cody. Everything's like outside of like everything that Cody does, like separate from the card, and it seems a little bit different. And it's like, damn, Cody, do you got to go over the top of everything you do?
That's why
that part of him.
That's why I say he fits. That's why.
That
goes right into what I say of like why that is.
But it's a whole different energy when you are the EVP too. It's like you're just giving yourself the book to do all this shit for yourself, and it comes off a little bit like you said, narcissistic. Boy, you're in WWE, and they're giving you the reins to be Cody, and you figured it out. You honed your craft. You went and workshopped that shit in AEW and in the Indies and NGPW. Now you brought that character, American Nightmare, to WWE. It's a whole different energy. It's completely different because we're not looking at you like, oh, you're just doing this because you're in charge. No, you're actually earning the crowd reaction that you're getting. You're earning every single thing you're doing, and every single week he's killing it. He's killing it on the microphone. He's genuinely a babyface, like genuinely getting those like that sympathy, and
that is exactly why I sent that message, because that point right there, right? The grandioseness of it, right? I gotta wait till my pyro hit, right? Like but it fits because we got the burn it down, right? Everybody has their little thing, you know what I'm saying? When Roman,
the pomp and circumstance of WWE.
Everybody has that, you know what I'm saying? So it's but the point of that is when you say he's a baby face. He's a baby face to an audience who's almost pure to him in a sense. Um, the little kids in the crowd that he's giving the belt to, they don't know about none of this tribalism shit. They don't know none about
Yeah,
and
not to the
they,
extent of
not to the
like
extent
yeah of
exactly,
these AEW marks that would
or
go,
even us, right? Because
or even us, yeah.
we're so, because I know when he was at AEW, following who he was, our previous knowledge of what he is, what he was, what we thought he wanted to become, it rubbed us like, man, come on, nigga, like you just said, you doing too much. But
And
when
also, he said he could win the championship. So how big can you really get?
exactly,
You know, like what are you doing this all for? Just to look
and
like outshine other people? Like
and so when you really talk about I'm doing it for championships,
hmm
I'm doing
makes
it.
sense now. It's all synchronicity, all lying.
Listen,
Yeah.
I want to be the biggest when my song comes on. I want niggas to know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I want
hmm
when I wear that championship up, because listen, Cody being TNT
Not
champion.
bad.
Oh, you good? Cody being TNT champion, that didn't fit him. We've seen Cody be Intercontinental champion. That fit him for a purpose. My nigga suited and booted. My nigga get like Cody just got a presence about him. You know what I'm saying? Like Cody has a certain type of uh and listen, I'll be the first one here right now admitting that I was against what it was that I thought that he was trying to portray in AEW. I considered it corny. You know what I'm saying? Here now, the buy-in of what it is that listen, I can believe that promo because in AEW he can't cut that promo. He can't cut that promo in AEW like, hey, I'm here to win a champ. That ain't got no significance. Your daddy went there, polka dots, you know what I'm saying? Like all types of things that you thought denigrated and desecrated the American dream, all the things that kind of made him fall into a depression or whatever the case may be. They made him a mockery of whatever fuck. You got all that angst against this company. You have that built in. You know what I'm saying? Like it just to me it means more. The credence of the words means a little bit more when I know that the passion behind listen, and again, the passion behind what he's saying, like, yo, I don't believe that when I was there, they didn't see the vision. So I went and I created something. Listen, Drew Galloway did the same thing, my nigga. Bobby Lashley did the same thing, my nigga. Like, we're not holding it against you for going out there, getting better, and then coming back. We not. You know what I'm saying? Do your fucking tours and how bad they treated you and shit like that. But what Galloway did, what Lashley did, they made themselves into a bona fide, can't miss, can't pass up fucking stud that is doing exactly what the fuck you aspire to do in main event WrestleMania.
And they did that, and now it's your turn, and what's funny is that like WWE can spot talent, but you got to be the talent that I don't know how do you say this. You got to be the talent that demands it almost. Like you can't go into WWE. You can demand it, but if you're pigeonholed, bro. Like you
Well,
gotta, you have to be undeniable. Like Bobby going to Impact, I don't think they made him undeniable because he came back and he was like just, they had him, pointing at his ass for like a month, So, but I think that Drew Galloway, not even he wasn't undeniable either. He came back, they put him at NXT. So but what they did is they became undeniable within the WWE. They said, oh, okay, you're gonna make me do all this, I'm gonna earn it. And they did. But what Cody did, I think that's what made him a little bit different is that he created the competition, like dead ass. Like created a competition and then came back and everybody he that name of Cody Rhodes was seen on national TV for years before he came back. Like for at least 2 years,
Wait,
So
and to comment on that too, just because we flowing. I think also Cody realized why Shawn and Trips and people of that nature, John Cena, right, Rock, why they take a stand somewhat in the reins of who they become. Because if you leave it to people to dictate who you don't become John Cena. You don't become The Rock. You don't become Triple H. You don't become a transcendent star without you taking some type of fucking creative control into what that is that you're being presented as. You
And
see what I'm
he
saying?
did any route he could because they wouldn't let him get out of Stardust, which is kind of crazy to me because like after like your dad's a legend and you're doing a gimmick based like kind of like a parody of your brother's gimmick who's iconic in its own right. Goldust is
Well,
I don't
that's
care
the
what you
reason.
say.
I mean, that's the. I mean, that we do a segment called Business and Logic all the time, right? So listen, we know that Dustin the Natural is different from Cody,
Hmm.
but we've seen Cody literally do like we gave him legacy. Okay, that disbanded. We gave him trash bag. We gave him when he broke his face. We gave him it like we gave him different
Dashing,
like
giving
dashing
you
Cody Road.
then
Like you know what I'm saying? Like
damage, Cody Rhodes, all that.
bro,
Yeah.
we've given him some things to stick and we followed him through. But again, it's the look, it's the build, it's the presentation. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's whoever's around you in like the roster, the pecking order. You know, like at the time, let's be real, Cody Rhodes was not at the same pecking order that he is
as
now.
Randy Orton, he,
You
he
know,
wasn't Randy. He
he
wasn't. He
wasn't.
wasn't
You
gonna be
know,
Randy Orton, bro. They
now I
had
can't wait to see Cody versus
they
Randy
had a
Orton.
triple threat at WrestleMania, and it was like, listen, y'all niggas, let's just put all three of y'all niggas together and see what happens. And Randy was just like, really? Did you
Nah,
actually Junior and Dusty's boy?
yeah,
Because
man. I think Randy.
they
I
weren't
think I
ready.
don't think he was like that. I think that Randy went into that like, all right, I'm gonna learn these kids and like this is a big spot for them. It's a big spot, and it had a built-in
Randy wasn't giving,
storyline.
but that's the thing. Randy wasn't giving up his spot, and Cody was
Oh
looking
yeah,
for it.
no way.
But that's
You
the
gotta take
thing.
that.
But that's the point, right? Cody at that was a valuable lesson that Cody did not learn, and that carried it through because as you seen after that, he didn't take the reins.
Well, let's be real. Cody was getting steam with Damian Sandow. And then
Yes,
they went into that Money in the Bank match and they should have given it to Cody. Everybody knew that. Cody was the guy with the Money in the Bank. He should have had that Money in the Bank. They gave it to Damian Sandow because they thought they had something there. And what did they do? They found out a couple months this wasn't as hot as you thought it was. And guess what? He lost. So and he's the first guy to lose his Money in the Bank contract, cash in.
but
So
that goes back to what you say. WWE can spot talent because let's not like Aaron Stevens is a great entertainer. He's a really good damn worker. He just again we talking about
yeah.
spots. He wasn't ready for that spot, and granted, he did do a lot of creative things. He came out. He was Lanny Poffo of our generation of that generation, right?
Yeah.
But again, Lanny Poffo can only go so far, right? Because that intellectual shit, a babyface got to knock you off that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But I do think they cut the legs off of Damian Sandow. Don't get me wrong. And they did the same thing to Cody Rhodes. When you had two that was around an era where like, WWE don't know how to make new stars. They really were fucking cutting the legs off of new stars. You can go back to Dolph Ziggler and Kofi at the same time. They did the same thing to them, back then too. So like it's a thing that was like they were so stuck to John Cena. And this is a debate that I have with my nephew because he's like, oh, John Cena always lost. He always lost. And I'm like, not really. Like Super Cena became a thing because Super Cena was kind of taking the oxygen out of the roster to make him this mega star. So the people that were right underneath him in the main card, Randy Orton, Batista, Edge, RVD at the time, there's a couple people, they had that cachet of main eventism, and then that was the cap. That was a ceiling. It was all at Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and there was like a harsh ceiling.
But if you look at that, I mean, this business, right? This is a great conversation. Were they wrong?
I think that they were wrong to cut the legs off of certain talents. And I think that pigeonholing Cody after dashing and he killed that shit. After damage, Cody killed that shit. All right, you do Stardust, you kill that shit. His father passes away, and he's like, I cannot do this makeup shit anymore. I know you want me to do this character, but it's not me. It's like a parody of my brother's character. I need to be me.
Yeah.
And then you say, nah, you gotta be Stardust. And then he's like, fuck this. I got to be out of here. I got to get out of here so I can become myself. And they were not allowing him to grow. So that's what I'm talking about. Allowing talent to grow. What they're doing for Austin Theory right now, they did not do that for a lot of talents growing like throughout the years. And that's why it kind of got stale for a while. You need that influx.
But this is where I say, remember we talked about it. Let's go. We got a lot of throwbacks that we did in August.
Yeah.
I said we got a different regime. It's a different coach. It's a different
GM.
True. You said I gotta see, right? You said I gotta see.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't saying that about Austin Theory back in August. It's a new regime. It's when you say let people be them, right? When you say let people find themselves and find, don't pigeonhole each other. I mean, not pigeonhole a talent. You're seeing the wings grow on people who need to fly, right?
But
Because
even with
everybody don't need that free range. We see that in AEW,
But
right?
even Matt Riddle, I think, got more than a lot of guys in the past. Matt Riddle, I thought, got shit to work with, whether with the scooter, whether it was working with RK Bro. Like, he got things that he could, and he was tag team champion. I think that if things didn't go down the way it did, Matt Riddle by now would be right there with
Oh
Austin
yeah, I
Theory.
mean, but
You
this
know,
but this is where I go back to the point where I say, were they wrong? Because even RVD, right? This is the elk of RVD. They
Okay.
didn't mind what RVD was. It's just you can't be in the car with my motherfucking title, pills and weed and speeding. And nigga, this is before the internet was the internet, and people still found out about. This is before what, like, this is before what we know now, or how
Yeah,
we.
social media wasn't like as crazy as,
But
yeah.
if we still was like in message boards and shit like that, like,
Uh-huh.
RVD, why he suspended, why he forfeit, why he lose the title, and we all thinking like, yo, WWE just don't want this ECW nigga to win or whatever. Like, no, nigga, we tried to give it to you.
Uh-huh.
Randy, nigga, you know how many times Randy, it's a theory that they threw
Randy couldn't
away.
fuck up enough.
This is what I'm trying to say. It's a rumor that they fucking threw away a failed test so he wouldn't have 3. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't
Like,
be
Randy
surprised.
was popping like a motherfucker.
Wouldn't be surprised. You
You
know?
know, and the reason why they doing that is because, nigga, we need you. We need
But
you.
let's say, for instance, they let Randy go home on that third test, and they said, you know what, Cody, you got his spot. And they actually said, you know what, we're gonna rebrand you, put you in a suit, and say, like, let's give you the reins. Would we have gotten here earlier? I don't
I
know,
don't think
but
so.
I can't say no because I believe Cody killed everything he did with Stardust. He killed Dashing. He killed Damage. Cody
But
Rhodes.
you, but
He
you also, but you also said,
embodied those
but you
roles.
also did say he had to grow. And I think
True.
with the growth, you go to Japan, you go to Europe, you go to Mexico, you do those things that you do, and you actually build a bond and a friendship with other people outside of the workplace that you've been a part
Yeah,
of.
I do think they're making him more of a well-rounded artist. Absolutely.
And artists, like let's
Yeah.
just say that, right? Because we don't want to again pigeonhole them to just being performers.
Mhm.
Cody is now, he looks at the production different. He looks at the
Yeah.
pre-production different. He looks at the plate, like, again, the cameras. You know, like it's just different. You know what I'm saying? Hard cam, like all that shit is. And he worked different places to know
Mhm.
different angles, different styles, so he can be a more robot. And then listen, when he know he coming back to WWE, he pumped that iron. You know what I'm saying? Like, he know what he got to do to fucking look the part.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
go in the indies and you can do certain shit. You look a certain way. Niggas don't give a fuck about that. But when you coming back, yeah.
You tear a pec, trying to make out of himself. That's
Nigga,
what happens.
you seen the pictures of Cameron Grimes, nigga? Cameron
Yo,
Grimes looks like a
crazy.
fucking
He looks
monster.
like a different dude, man.
He ready for
Definitely
the
on that
main.
human growth.
He ready for the main roster, nigga.
Yeah,
Nigga,
he's like, you know what? Y'all have me stuck here for how many years?
we
To the moon, out of here.
so to get back on track, we 25 minutes in and have not talked about SmackDown. All right, so to get back to SmackDown, right? So the hottest thing really to that happened is Jay and Sammy, middle of the ring, cut a really great promo. If you haven't seen it, I won't paraphrase it. It's on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, another side note: WWE playlist, hour and 47 minutes. The story of the bloodline.
Mhm.
If you have not watched it, if you have not seen it, waste 2 hours. I'm telling
I
you,
sent that playlist actually to my little sister because she
bro.
was like, "It was wrestling good." I'm like, "Yo, here's something you can see." Because honestly, the bloodline angle has been the best angle I have seen since Johnny Tommaso, in my opinion. This is the best storyline that I've seen since then.
And it surpassed it, to be
And
honest.
absolutely, I think so too. I think it has surpassed it. So it's So you can go back even further, man. You might be going back to the Ministry of Darkness shit.
Yo, honestly, like, listen, the like, honestly, and we won't do a recap really, but Roman never lost his Universal title. He had to give it up. It was supposed to be Roman and Goldberg during the pandemic or
Yeah, that's
whenever.
true.
Like, it was a whole lot of things, right? So when Bray gets it, Braun has it. The company's down in flux. Niggas is not watching TV. Like, it's almost a Super Cena effect, right? Hey, somebody call Roman, right? But Roman's Roman's like, bro, if I'm coming back, if I'm leaving I got 4 kids at this time. You know what I'm saying? I'm in remission. Like, nigga, it's COVID. If y'all niggas want me to come back, he did the Cody shit, right? Right? Everybody's following, but this is all part of what's happening in sports anyway, right? This is in the macro of sports entertainment,
Talent taking their
football, and taking
power.
control.
Yeah.
Listen, LeBron, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, all these niggas like, yo, I know what my value is to this organization, to this company, to the bottom line. You not finna just tell me this is what I got and this is what I got to work with.
Also, it was the beginning of COVID. He really doesn't know what COVID is. So I don't blame him going home, being for his family, taking care of them. And with his health history, chill out. Go home and miss WrestleMania. We got Goldberg and Braun. Boom. We'll have Braun, become champion for the first time. And from that point forward, we got the Fiend, we got all that, and by the summertime, or the fall, I guess, came around,
It
he
was
was back in a different way.
SummerSlam he came back.
SummerSlam, okay.
Yep, SummerSlam he came back, and that's what I'm saying. SummerSlam of 2020. It's March of 2023. So when we talk about seasons of wrestling, right? We talking about WrestleMania seasons, right? So season 2020, season 2021, Roman's the man. Season 2022, Roman's the man. Season 2023, Roman's the man. Bro, we talking about 3 years of pure dominance.
And it doesn't feel boring. It doesn't feel stale. It doesn't feel like, yo, guys, can we please get the title for Roman? Like, that's the key to me about this whole thing, is that I am not feeling the same way I felt for like half of the time that Cena had the title. Some of the times where I'm like, all right, we get it. We know he's gonna face, Vladimir Kozlov. He's beating him for sure, obviously. We don't gotta act like it's a shot.
Yeah,
We
we knew Umaga wasn't gonna win the title.
we know Umaga's not beating John Cena. Okay, we can act like, okay, this is a title shot, like that. There's a chance, but no, there's no way. You know, so all of that stuff, he beat Shawn Michaels WrestleMania, he beat Triple H, he beat everybody. So there was a time where it got like, oh, okay, we can just assume that Cena's gonna win. He's gonna come out and say hustle, loyalty, respect, and he just moves on. Roman as the heel works this way because he's cheating to win. It goes in line with the story, and he's now manipulated his family to a way where he's almost like, to me, I say that he's created a barrier between himself losing the championship
and
with the bloodline.
and he had legitimate challengers that we was like, huh, Kevin Owens maybe. Because they wrestled, I don't know how many cage matches, last man standing matches.
I think he beat Kevin Owens' ass more than anybody during this reign of terror.
My God. So,
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, is he really leaving, going to AEW? Is he really going to, are they going to keep him, give him the title? Loss. Edge, he came back 10 years, neck surgery, let's be it. Loss.
Stacked him.
Cesaro, oh my God, are they really going to make him the loss? Like, it don't
Finn
matter.
Balor, oh, is he going to be the demon? No. He felt the ring rope breaks. Like, what the fuck?
Nigga lost, nigga. Like, so, and honestly, when Finn comes back and he does the point to Roman, we like, damn, a real challenger. Like Finn, he came back, he did the NXT thing, he's the first Universal Champ. Roman discarded that nigga like
he tossed Dominic out the ring like a
Rey
fucking.
Mysterio was never even a motherfucking thought.
Rey Mysterio had Hell in a Cell, tossed him too.
So when you say the story of the bloodline, it's not just Roman again, but it starts with Roman and Jay. It starts with Roman and Jay. It starts with Roman and Jay, and essentially it's Roman and Jay because Jimmy's gone, right? Jimmy's out, hurts his knee. Jay's out by himself. Usually during a tag team, if somebody's out, that
The other,
person Flanders.
yeah.
Roman being the guy, say, nah, that's my cousin, nigga. You know, he he not finna be in the back with catering with Otis. You know what I'm saying? No, we gonna elevate Jay. But
What
he
made it
manipulated Jay in the elevation,
what made it
right?
so good was
So
that
that was so fantastic about that story, man.
and what made it so good was in wrestling, typically it's like, all right, so guys, we're right. Roman's a heel now, and we're gonna put him with Jay and Paul Heyman. All right, so Jay, I need you to interfere in this match, and we're gonna set up, Roman and Sheamus. Like they just put it together, and they have him interfere. Oh, now they're aligned. They dragged it out over the course of two paid live events, two pay-per-views, and gradually told the story of Roman and this like underdog story with Jey Uso of like manipulate him to acknowledge him as a tribal chief. And that set a foundation for who we see today. Mind you, he was still coming out and to his Shield music. But once he got like established as the tribal chief, they changed the music up. He got the beads now. Like it evolved over time. And seeing that transition of Roman till now has created this dynamic where, yeah, he feels like the man. Like, he feels like
Well,
the
also when I watched the playlist
final boss.
to comment on that too, that's the point, right? When Sammy cuts the promo on Jay this past Friday and says, "You wish that was the one that turned on Roman or hit him with the chair or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be."
So you're not mad at me, you're mad at yourself.
Yeah, I think at the same time, listen, you go back to the reality of it all when Roman tells him to fall in line and Jay's reluctant to fall in line. It's like, this is what it's always been, bro. Like, this was since we was kids. And Roman was like, yeah, nigga, did they make the wrong choice? That goes back to, like, you know what I'm saying? Did they make the wrong fucking choice of anointing me? And when they anointed me, nigga, I put in the fucking work. Nigga, y'all can't say y'all the best tag team, nigga. When y'all not even on the show. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of it. Like I main evented the biggest show that y'all niggas wasn't on. Yes, nigga, acknowledge me for bringing your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at it like you say, it's a harsh reality.
It is.
It's a harsh.
And those promos,
it's a harsh reality.
It blend the line of fiction and reality because Roman's saying to him, "Without me at the top, you don't eat. I put food on your plate and the entire family's plate. So let me do my thing as a tribal chief. Acknowledge me as your tribal chief, and we all eat. And guess what? Once he acknowledged him, they all ate.
And
now,
but
Usos
also
have been tag team champions for how long?
But not just to acknowledge him. This is why I say Sammy don't really understand the dog that's in Jay. And I hope they tell it. I hope that, because listen, full circle, Roman told Jay, your team don't follow you because they don't fear you. When did Sammy start falling the line? When he feared the motherfucker. Jay got a taste of that. Right? He ain't never pushed Jimmy around to make him fall in line. Solo ain't never had to fucking get pushed around and fall in line. Everybody that Roman sick Jay on wasn't to acknowledge Roman. It was because they failed to him. They never really acknowledged. But to have somebody like it's jumping in, it's a gang, nigga. Like to have somebody acknowledge your authority, right? Sammy affirmation was for Jay, and Jay was like, "Nah, nigga, you gotta fear this before you respect it." And Sammy don't know nothing about that because that wasn't ingrained in him. Listen, Roman had to go. Listen, they didn't respect me as Roman Reigns. They kept clamoring for Brock. I heard niggas calling for John Cena. Like you say, niggas want to get a belt to no, I'm the franchise fucking guy. And now everybody falls in line. This company falls in line because they fucking fear me. He led by example with that, and Jay knows that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, again, I may be, I might be in this melodramatic shit, but like,
No, I like it
you know,
because you can say it's melodramatic, but this is what you want out of your television programs, man.
correct.
If you can sit here and you can watch it like whatever you want to watch, BMF, or you want to watch, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, whatever, pick whatever television show, Ozark. If you can sit down and have a character dialogue on each character and actually have a conversation about it, that's what you want from your television show. I've always asked for that for WWE because it felt too surface all the time. Like just like I said, we'll just be like Roman comes back. Oh, he's a bad guy now. All right, who's a good guy? Drew McIntyre. All right, Jey Uso. You're gonna help him win this match. That's it. That's the storytelling. Or you're his cousin. Help him win the match, and then next thing you know, move on to the next challenger. That's how it typically has gone in the past. This Bloodline story has been perfectly crafted, like week by week by week, it down to this week where you have this conversation with Sammy and Jay, and it means something. And these are only two members of a tag team. This is not including Jimmy and KO, who will possibly, be the tag team match WrestleMania. Just two members of the tag team can have a entertaining promo where he's like, "Yo, listen, I trusted you. You made me look stupid, and we're sitting here on the edge of our seat, like, yo, that's true." And they're like, "Oh, yo." And then Sammy's like, "No, you're not mad at me. You're mad at yourself because you're just mad because you didn't get the call. Take the first shot, and I did." So like all those things have been built to this point where that promo can happen, and that typically is not the case with wrestling storylines. So I got to tip my cat once again to this Bloodline storyline. Like I said, they're saying Rhea Ripley and Charlotte's going to main event night one. If y'all want to do that, fine. A pull-up brawl ain't going to get me to feel like that should be the main event. But if you want,
it's not necessarily a pull apart brawl. And I know we've had this conversation again before, and of course it's in the zeitgeist. Listen, you win the Rumble, you main event. That's what it is. And I understand you say, "Oh, stories ain't hot." The best line, you're like, listen. I saw an analogy today. Shout out to the homie Seahawk. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Listen, every primetime game don't hit. Sometimes the game of the week come on at 11 in the morning." And
is that how they? If you could plan it, and you knew, oh, this game is going to hit, they would plan it that way. That's what they. That's what they try to do.
But that's what they, and that's the point. That's what they try to do, right? So, with that being said, nigga, we end up with fucking Lions and Packers the very last Sunday night of the very last Sunday night game because they're like, well, the Seahawks already won, so the Lions not getting to the playoffs, but they can spoil for the Packers. If the Packers win, they're in the wild card. This game is shitty. So I can understand the analogy of Charlotte and Rhea Ripley,
but they don't have But you can't predict what team's going to win to make it matter at the end in football. In WWE, you know damn well what people want to see going into WrestleMania. You know damn well that you can book it. So granted, you want to go Royal Rumble winners, and from now on, all right, then let's just make sure
that's always been the case, though.
All right, and that's okay, cool. I'm just saying, that doesn't have to be the case when you have something that's so hot. It's not like this is coming. It's not like this is like every other year where there's like, oh man, there's always some other program that's hotter than the main title that or whoever won the Royal Rumble. It's not usually like that. Usually, the women's title has a really good, strong program, and the men's main event has a strong program, and clearly it should be the main event. This year is not the case. Now, if you guys were to add elements in Rhea and Charlotte to make me feel like even it was half as interesting as a Bloodline, then cool. Not even a Bloodline, just a tag team match.
But that's what I'm saying. But this is another thing. Like, you telling me, like, bro, how long ago me and you've been talking about Sammy, KO, Usos, wrestling? We talked about this before, niggas. I think they even broke up. Like, what are you talking about? I think,
hey man, this is what it is. Like, you're right.
You can't say this for a reason. Hold on. I know, but this is the point. Even though we know, like you say, we can predict it. We don't know it's going to be this good. We don't know it's going to matter this way. We didn't know that Sammy was going to be such an infatuation to the bloodline. Like, we did not know it was going to carry. We just thought it was going to be a program that we was going to get through because the tag team division is shitty. Like, that's all. Like we didn't know it was going to be the most important storyline of the fucking company.
But now we do, and that's my
Yeah, but
thing.
now, but because now we do don't mean we just fucking say, "Oh, night one WrestleMania."
But
But
why not? And that's my thing. My thing is why not? Fuck it. Like let's make the main event the tag team division because it warrants it. At the end of the day, hey, I didn't ask for this. What I asked for was Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. And if you guys went that way, maybe it would be more interesting, and you would have an argument that hey, this should be the main event over the tag team match. And I'll be like, you know what, you're right, because these two women probably are must see. This match between Charlotte and Rhea is a rehash of a former WrestleMania match. Granted, there were no audience members there. Also, they have not really been telling the story very well every single week on SmackDown or on Raw. So I'm just waiting for them to be like, all right, should this be the why should this feel important? They haven't even made event to SmackDown or Raw. So like why should this feel important? And I guess,
well, and I think that goes back to when you say decision making, right? They thought too hard, right? When we booked it, we damn near booked everything essentially the way they got it. We called the nigga. I called the triple threat.
Yeah, I think everybody called the triple threat, and I was like, maybe they'll change it a little bit, but it's like everybody knew where this is going. Like, yeah, everybody knew.
So like you got the easy thing where Rhea wins the Rumble. She can be like, yo, no more 6-pack challenges, no more none more contenderships, no more none of that. Me, you, future of this business, WrestleMania, nigga. I don't give a fuck. They could have did everything that them and Charlotte did. I'm bought in. That's main event.
It's different, right?
It
feels different.
It's just different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like
they haven't like had that match yet. But everybody's been waiting for it.
But I think that's what I mean. I think they're saying that they thought their mind says like, hey, Rhea can carry, and this thing of main events in WrestleMania will be something that can carry and but no, like it's shit that really matters when you say with the feud.
You know what I have a problem with Charlotte? I'm going to be honest right here. Charlotte is always looking down on her opponents. And this goes back to her beating Asuka. I wanted her to lose that so bad because I want to feel like she's an underdog at least once. Yeah. I want Charlotte to punch up at least once, even if it's a young upstart coming in and saying, listen, I'm going to beat your ass and break your legs until you can't till you can't get up anymore.
They tried to do that with Carmella.
Carmella?
She pinned her. She pinned her twice.
Oh my God, that is not even close to what I'm trying to talk about. A roll-up pin and all this shit. You protected Charlotte. You did not have Carmella dominate Charlotte. Charlotte has never been dominated once. Becky has, Sasha has, Bayley has. They've all been in the place where they had to overcome. And that's why Charlotte never works as a babyface. She never works as a babyface, man. So if you wanted to tell this story with Rhea Ripley finding her own space and coming for Charlotte, it should be like on site, I'm going to destroy you. And by the time you get to WrestleMania, there's going to be no doubt in your mind, not in my mind, in your mind, I'm going to make you believe that you're walking and losing this title. And that's the story I would have told, because the nightmare Rhea Ripley should have by now gotten one up on Charlotte, at least multiple times.
Absolutely.
And it shouldn't just be the day of WrestleMania or the main event of WrestleMania and she finally wins, because it doesn't mean as much, I think that Rhea Ripley needs to get one up on Charlotte, and in a big way, so to show that like, yo, Charlotte's not looking down on her just because she's defeated her in the past. And that's the thing with Charlotte. This queen moniker, I get it, it's great, but if you can have Charlotte be an underdog with anybody, anybody that you can that looks like they got the part, it could have been Nia Jax. You could have done it with. You could have done it with anybody, freaking Asuka. You could have done it with now Rhea, Bianca. Charlotte has to eventually feel like, man, maybe I don't got it anymore the way I used to. Even though she does, just tell the story. Just tell the story. It doesn't have to be that like, this I'm looking down, I'm the queen and I'm the best, and yeah, you got to figure out how to beat me. That's how it's always been, and it's boring. So yeah, their main event, I'll tune in. It's probably going to be a banger of a match, but you're putting these women in a tougher spot than it had needed to be because of the storytelling
Or,
to it, and also it shouldn't have been booked
yo,
this way.
remember, I felt this way about who had that? What match was that at Money in the Bank we watched with Dez? Was
Um,
it Rhea and was it Rhea and Charlotte?
that's when Cena came back that night, right? I missed it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That was to 2020. Yeah, that was 2021.
But I want to say this.
But yeah, it was Rhea. It was Rhea and Charlotte. I'm pretty sure it was Rhea and Charlotte.
we
Yeah, it was Rhea and Charlotte,
didn't
and
care
it was
about
a
the
good
match,
match.
and it was a banger. It was damn near match of
Yeah,
the night. You know what I'm saying?
yo,
Like,
for real, it was. Like, yo, Charlotte got it, and Rhea got it, like they're really good.
so I
So
think,
we know they
I
can
think,
go.
and I think also, like you say, yes, change up the status quo of what it is, and like kind of give a little bit of nod to the best story. Again, that goes back to what we're gonna, the best story of the year. But I think the best story of the year isn't necessarily this tag team. The best, I mean, like Sammy's inflection into the bloodline was a very great um um marker in the story. Going back to the whole playlist, right? Because ultimately, it's going to have to come down to a crumbling, right? It's going to have to
Mhm.
come down to the real story. Is it going to be Jay and Jimmy next year, right? Is it
Yeah,
going to
that'd
be,
be
you know what I
awesome.
mean? Like, you know
Honestly,
what I mean?
because
Like
that's what
that.
I wanted. I remember last year I wanted Jay and Jimmy, and I'm like, all right, I embrace the bloodline the way that it has been over the past because we wouldn't have gotten this if we just hot shotted. All right, Jimmy, saves, acquiesces to Roman, because he's choking out his brother, and then Jimmy finally comes back and he's like, no, I'm not going to be part of the bloodline.
But
You
that,
got a
but
heel
I
Jimmy
mean,
versus a babyface Jimmy. I mean, a heel Jay versus babyface Jimmy. I thought 2022 they could have done that at WrestleMania, but now we're getting this way, 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 way more important tag team match. And next year we can still get the split,
and and
So
and and KO and Sammy also, like, the brothers is back. I mean, listen, the
yeah,
title of this episode is "And the Emmy Goes To," because listen, KO at the beginning of the show with Cody says, "I don't want nothing to do with any of you guys." Sammy and Cody, like, listen, I know you guys got to fight with the bloodline, and I got to fight with the bloodline, but yes, I'm not with the like linking up together, fighting the bloodline thing. Like, I am by myself,
hmm
and Sammy does the whole like, hey man, I know I done said I don't need you to be my friend. And Kevin Owens like, well, yeah, like I kind of miss having my fucking friend. That's the promo I cut 6 months ago when I said, hey, dude, you don't need them. And Sammy's like, I don't want to ride with you anymore. I don't want nothing to do with you anymore. Like, we remember all that shit, and Kevin does too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
all of that still, and Sam was like, I did it because you emotionally abused me by beating my ass when I first became the champion.
That is not what he said.
No, but that's what he felt. That's what he felt.
Yo, man, listen.
But I mean,
He's like,
but the,
listen, like he's like, why is it different? Like you cheating your girl a million times. Like, yeah, we cheated on each other in the past. Why is this time the reason we should break up? Like,
nigga,
why should we break up now?
why we break him now? Like, no, listen, as dysfunctional as it is, you know me, I know you. Like, let's just get this back on track.
It's
You
like,
know what I'm saying?
come on. What
And
makes
so,
this so different?
and so, Kevin has been reluctant for the past couple weeks to come save
Yeah.
Sammy. Sammy has been reluctant to come out there and save Kevin. Let's finally get through this. Kevin finally comes out, hugs Sammy. It's the biggest moment of the night. Sorry, Will Hobbs. And yo, listen, Will Hobbs and Ray Phoenix had a really good match.
Oh, I gotta check it. I haven't seen it.
You know what I'm saying, because we gotta mention that because we might not get through everything in the show. So I just want to make sure that I get that in there. But no, Sammy and KO reigniting. I can't wait until Monday, right? I'm pretty sure it'll be the first time we'll see KO and Kevin together. And that's gonna be that's gonna kick it off in the high gear. You know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to Cody being a glue guy, real glue guy, right? He cuts the promo on Roman on Monday. Very good promo. Comes out Friday, cuts a really good promo with Kevin and Sammy, sets the seeds. and got the family back together. So man, shout out to Cody, man. He ended racism, and he ended the Canadian War. You know what I mean?
Cody ended his race. You can't, yeah, Cody Luther King.
And Cody Luther King, my nigga. Um,
Honestly, Cody's the man. Yeah, like yeah, I think he's the top babyface in the world right now, and I think he's the guy that was right to be the guy to intermediate this, considering everything that's been over the past couple of months. It was a great program. I still didn't get like why Clay was like, all right, now I'm gonna be your buddy, and I think it was flat for me. I would have done it a little bit different. Now, feel me on this. Like Monday, KO got beat up. He had his backstage promo. Like, listen, Cody, I don't want you coming out. I don't want Sammy. I don't want you coming out to face me with me. And so I know the bloodline's gonna be there too. And then he gets beat up, and they leave. And I thought, like, yo, the bloodline don't usually just pin you and walk out. They should have tried to take him out, and I would have had Sammy come out and help him. And I would have Kale get upset and Sammy get the mic and say, "Listen, bro." And he honestly, I want Sammy to take a beating as well. And but then eventually get some help, and you know feed then fight off the bloodline. And then Sammy gets the mic before the night's over, because closing coming to a close. And Sammy says, "Listen, I know you didn't want me to come out, but no matter what, I'm always going to have your back, even if you don't want me to." And that would be the end of the show. And that alone, even though he was so adamant about not coming out and helping him, no matter what, even if you're going to be mad at me for helping you, I'm still going to help you. I think that would have been a little bit more of um, you know, a story going into Friday, and then Friday would have had Sammy say, "Listen, I know you didn't talk. You told me not to come out, but I'm always going to have your back when they're." And I made that mistake,
but
months
but
ago, and not to make that mistake again.
but I would say this: if you build somebody trust and somebody tell you not to do something, you do it, then I don't trust you because you're not fucking listening.
I don't care, but it's for a
No,
purpose, and I'm
what?
not going. But it's like, listen, you're doing it. He's doing it out of love. He's doing it. Listen, I'm not going to let you get beat up. I made a mistake, and I'm going to right the wrong. I'm going to right the wrong by not ever turn my back on you again, even if you don't want me to. I love you so much that I will go to bat for you, even if you hate me. And that to me means more than just like, all right, let you get your ass beat then. All right, you know. I think that he's like, listen, he'll come back out on SmackDown, but listen, KO, listen, I know me and you have our this was you. We don't got to be friends and all that, but it doesn't matter if you don't want me around. I don't care if you say that. I made a mistake months ago when I left you hanging to dry out there in War Games. I made a mistake when I let them beat you up after Royal Rumble, and I refuse to let those transgressions, happen again. And I'm every time the bloodline tries to harm you or anybody else that I care about, I'm gonna be there to fight off the bloodline.
Man, if he say that, we booing him out, especially all that,
No
bro.
one's booing
Like
him. No one's booing him. No one's booing him.
listen, but all that don't it. You saying like what they did, which was perfect, wasn't as perfect as what you have, but like I don't think that I don't think that I don't think that I don't think you adding
What
that
changed
again.
KO's mind?
What?
What changed KO's mind?
Literally what you just said happened in SmackDown when KO walked out the ring. KO was leaving, going to his car. Sammy stopped him and literally said exactly what you said. But he did it after. Again, this is what I'm trying to say. In real life, not a scripted show in real life. And this is what I'm saying. That's why I said. That's why I reacted the way I do, because I know in my relationships, when I say don't do something and it gets done out of love, it still ain't what I actually do with love. You know what I'm saying?
But it's one thing if it's somebody that has an aligned goal for you, and they're going out. If you listen, if I'm about to go like to war with somebody, a group of people, and I'm like, yo, Chris, bro, stay home. I can fight this nigga by my. But you find out they got a group of guys that are gonna jump me, and you find out they got a gun on them.
But it's not just that, Chidi. I was with those guys and I beat your ass already previously. Like this is not just as simple. This is what I'm trying to say. It's not just as simple as friend turned his back on me. Like, no, this is friend we fought together and said we didn't want nothing to fucking do with each other. Chidi, like, what are you talking? Like,
Yeah,
this was
yeah.
an end of a bond. So when we are fighting a common enemy now, a common enemy that I told you was going to have, a common enemy that you didn't have to have and fight by yourself, a common enemy that you're only fighting and coming back to me to ask for some help is because you didn't fucking listen to me months ago. So listen to me now, nigga. I'm gonna get my ass beat without you there because when I fucking needed you, you weren't there. I could have been Universal Champion back in Royal Rumble in 2021, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like when 2022, whichever one they wrestled at, nigga, I think they wrestled at back-to-back Royal Rumbles. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but that's my point. Sammy, I've been here. I've been fighting this nigga. Roman been my adversary, and you ain't been around. So what I'm telling you is, nigga, is that I've been fighting against Jay. Jay handcuffed me to a fucking cage, bitch. Where was you at? Huh?
See, I would have Sammy be
Like, nah, nigga,
the
fuck that.
annoying
Stay
friend
back there,
that
nigga.
I would
Stay
have
your ass
Sammy
back
be.
there.
And this is and hey, listen, you like what they did? I'll concede it. It
I mean,
wasn't bad.
well, I'm just saying this is they did it. It's in reverse. Like you said, I would have had it done Monday. I think I like what happened Monday because in the heat of war, because you see what Sammy do, right? When Sammy get mad, he did the same thing with Jay, right? It's passionate. He say things and he like, I said it and I meant it, and I said it with fervor. And him and Kevin had it out, and Kevin told again. Kevin said, "I heard you, man. I know you want to help me. We don't have to be friends. Okay, then don't fucking help me, friend. If I'm getting my ass beat, you're not my friend. Don't come fucking save me, nigga." You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like Sammy been saying, I don't want to be a friend. I just need a partner to fight. And Kevin Owens
I
is
would have
like,
had him
I can
help.
fight
I
by
would have had him still
myself,
help.
nigga. I don't need no friend.
Yeah,
Nigga.
and I get it. I get that. I still would have had him help because I believe that Sammy should be the annoying, pestering friend. That listen, I'm not going to allow you because he listen. KO came
But
out to
that
help him.
annoying pestering
You
friend
know,
is the reason why he got his ass beat in the bloodline, though, dog. He can't keep that same story arc and have somebody continue to have empathy for him. The nigga was fucking a pesty ass nigga when he came back and asked Roman for help in a lumberjack match. He was a pet like when he came out there. The nigga been pesty for a while, nigga. We need him to get up out that shit, nigga.
all right, then if you're gonna have Solo and them beat KO down and pin him and then walk out when they literally have a KO problem still, they didn't try to take him out again. That was odd to me. I would have at least had Sammy walk out there
a street
and
fight,
watch.
nigga. I think. I mean, after the street fight, it was like, nigga, I think he should be done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And then Cody calls him out on Friday. He's a free slide,
like
fresh as a daisy.
He should be. Well, they didn't bring. That's what I'm saying. They didn't beat his ass on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he should. He should have. Listen, he not fighting for a championship, right? He don't want to fuck with Sammy, but somehow Kevin Owens just want to be a good person, right? He don't want to see the bloodline reign of terror. So Roman is just like, yeah. Somebody, please get rid of this nigga. He don't want nothing but to fight. So Solo, Street Warrior, go fight this nigga. Fight this nigga. Usos, just be there and make sure that this nigga, we don't get no more stains on our name, nigga. I don't need no more losses. Make sure he gets the win.
Yeah, I would have done the whole chair around the neck thing again, and then Sammy come out and save us. Still, I wouldn't have Cody come out, no, but I would have then Sammy get the chair put around his neck, and have some maybe KO low blows in one of them, and they obviously fend them off somehow. Obviously you would have booked it, however what, and then say just KO just looking down at this thing like I told you not to come out here, like just kind of disappointed, and he could walk off after that, and Sammy's like beat up, and he's like, guess the mic, listen, man. I turned my back on you once. I'm not going to do it again, and that's all. And he walks out, and he walks off, and then you do what you do on SmackDown. I mean, that's fine. That's how I would. Maybe it's melodramatic. I don't know, but that's what I would have done.
Is adding another act in that. As adding another scene. Niggas is like, bro, I thought we were done shooting, nigga.
Never done, no.
It's like set.
Anything for this shot, buddy? No, get back out there, dog.
Outside of SmackDown, I'll run through some other things that I have on the show topics. That we don't have to stick with really. I love Otis as a comedy act.
I know we called it out.
Mhm.
Maximum Male Models. They are my underground list of the week. I fuck with these niggas, bro.
Yeah.
I bang with them niggas, cause like I
They
ain't gonna,
turn the corner.
bro. I
Right.
ain't gonna hold you, yo. It's all they. It's like Brizingo or Fan
Breezango.
Brizingo, yeah. But I ain't really. I like the little fashion files, but they fall off a cliff sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
This maximum male model shit where these niggas is like really masculine niggas is just like, yeah, we good. You know what I'm saying? We gonna play the bit because like who really gonna fuck with us? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, and then Otis is always down to do some he always down for it. He the Chris
Yeah.
Farley of wrestling, you know what I'm
Yeah, for
saying?
real.
So
He's always down for some fun stuff.
I
Yeah, man.
fuck with Otis. I wanted to make sure I tap on that.
Nah, shout out to Otis, man. He's doing his thing. He's always entertaining for sure. Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to bring up that happened on Raw, we called it Tez in Theory.
Tez in theory, bro.
Man, give us the fuck, give us a check, somebody, please. I'm broke.
We did call it. We called this a while. Yeah, we called it. Man, he's up
Tez,
there, man.
Tez in Theory, man. That promo. I need Austin to be a little bit. He has some verbal crutches, right? That's you know what I'm saying. He has some. I think that can honestly be worked out, but
Yeah, his theory needs to bite a little bit more. Like he needs a little bit more bite, and punch.
yeah, because
When he says his line.
it's always he's always taken aback. Oh really? Oh
Hmm.
really? It takes him a
Yeah,
minute. Oh really? Yes, nigga. Now hit me with the line. Come on, that's the
yeah,
third time you said oh really, nigga.
yeah. He
I
needs some
could have got
punch.
two more jokes out. You know
Oh, really? Let me
what
take a second to think about that. All right, I got it. Well, how
I mean?
about
You
it's
might
like
as well
okay,
write that
dog.
shit on your wrist, nigga. Damn. Oh really?
Yeah, he
um,
needs a little bit more punch to his verbal jousting. I want to see. I can't wait to see that. I always I feel for Dawkins because we know what's gonna happen. He's gonna be left behind. But hey, he had a good match with Theory, so that was
and
I enjoyed it.
We ain't gotta wait long. Tez in Theory is this Monday.
Okay.
I don't think it's for the title, but it's going. This Atlanta found. Hopefully they do. Hopefully Trips see what we see. Lay the foundation of some things that happen.
You
We can have
better,
some
man. I mean, he
callbacks
didn't say
and
his name in the freaking press conference. Had to tweet it out later. You better fucking put some respect on Tez's name.
listen. I don't. I will say one thing for sure. Two things for certain, nigga. Montez Ford ain't underlooked in that motherfucker. I can tell you that. It's only a few that can move the needle that look like us, and he one of them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the melanin crew out there. You know what I'm saying? One thing too. Speaking of Tez, I'll bring up his wife. Since
Keep my wife's name out your fucking
yeah, but I'll be real. I'll be real respectful, honestly, because I know Tez live in Florida. He a Marine, nigga. So I know he'll shoot for he slap, nigga.
Backslap.
uh, Bianca's character arc really isn't one, right? I believe she's really like good at being her.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've said that since she was in NXT. Like she's just a
well,
natural.
I mean, I would say this, and the reason why I brought up Tez, and the correlation is just because when she debuted, the Mania after the pandemic, the first pandemic Mania, the 2021, the one that no fans went through. 2021 was a pandemic one, but no fans went there either. But
Mhm.
the when she debuted in the Thunderdome,
One of them, yeah.
we was like, yo, it's why are they sitting on this? Because they knew they wanted her not to have the Karashita run. They didn't want her to have the John Moxley run. They didn't want her to have the Darby Allin run. They didn't want her to just pad stats and be a champion and not be able to really ride this ride. So she Patrick Mahomes her rookie year behind Alex Smith, like right? That's
Yeah. Got
essentially
the
like
bench a little bit.
you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like she play the back and allow Rhea and Charlotte to have that match at and now granted when Rhea beat Bianca in February of that year in Portland, they didn't know that a pandemic was coming, right? But you know what I mean? Like they didn't know that that was going to take place, but they knew that Bianca was going to be somewhat of a backseat. Charlotte was there, Bailey was there, Sasha was there, Oscar was there. It was a lot going on. Now you look at those same names, and Bianca just fucking took like she took off. And if you pay attention, like I said, the character arc is not really necessarily arc as her being her, is that shout out to a lot of women, and I would say black women in this case, right, where her main focus was to come in and kind of like, hey, I'm not really doing anything for me. I'll help nurture. I'll help kind of rally the boys. I'll be around Tez and Angelo. I'll be a great supporting staff. Hey, don't mess with my man or whatever the case may be. Until she like, it's something that I want.
It's still Bailey.
It, I mean, not necessarily Bailey. I'm just saying until her mindset was like, it's something that I'm not achieving.
I think she was always that way. Honestly, I think that she was always that way. They just said, "Hey, we got something for you. Just sit around for a little bit." I think she's wired that way. I saw it in NXT. I saw it on the main roster. I think that when she
NXT, she never won the title.
But you can see that when she was out there, it was maybe they didn't put her in the spot to win the title.
I'm sorry. Not the I'm kind of, but it's Shayna. It was Shayna, Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Bianca. I think she really fell in that pecking order. She was fourth. I know she was out working and trying to get the character, and we loved her, but like Shayna was the most dominant.
But if you're talking about like something clicked in her as far as she needs to accomplish something personally, I think that she's been that way. I don't know. For me, like I always say there's a relatability to her.
I think she saw a hole in the main roster. That's what I'm saying. Like when she knew that, I think what I'm saying is when she saw that the boys wasn't going to take the reins, right? They lost how many opportunities? They're not right. They didn't. The Street Profits isn't the tag team of preference that she was fucking taking a backseat to. And also that women's division ain't as hot as it was when she was taking the backseat to. That's what I'm saying. Like it's also mindset, opportunity, because niggas have that mindset and an opportunity and they fumble it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not that we haven't not seen that before.
Yeah, she hasn't fumbled. Yeah,
she hasn't fumbled at all. And I think
it's like you see a diamond and you know it's gonna shine no matter what. So it's kind of like, all right, when the time is right, I'm going to put you around and put you in the right setting so that we make the whole set, perfect. That's kind of how I've seen Bianca. It's like Bianca is a star. Like you can just see it. And when she got linked up with Bailey, everybody started to see it as well because Bailey is really good and she also had a cachet to her name. That's when it started to pick up steam with that angle with Bailey. And it brought it full circle. From that point on, she was off to the races. Once you gave her that singles run, it was like she was gone. So
it wasn't how it can't be Bailey. It had to be Sasha. Sasha was before Bailey.
No, it wasn't. So Bailey had a few with her first. Sasha also had a few with her, but it was way before like Bailey's first run. When she first turned heel,
first run as champion. What are you talking about? Bianca was chasing.
No, Bianca and Bailey had a feud without the title. I don't believe it was on the line. I think it was just competition. They were doing the obstacle course.
Let me see
all that stuff.
Let me see. I'm about to look it up. Go ahead. I'll go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's when I started to see them giving her those opportunities to really, take the mic and work with the microphone and get some time in the ring, and she just shined. The thing about Bianca right now is I think that what I have to say about it is like just kind of like what you're doing with Charlotte. You don't want her to get stale, So I feel like this whole thing with Asuka is you kind of want to. Obviously, you have the crazy Asuka with the mist where she can spit it at any time, and we can see she's like spitting, all this mist. But it needs to happen, and you need to put her at a disadvantage at some point. You need to have Asuka turn and switch on her at some point, and I hope we get it this week. So I think that's where you can, also take this feud to another level. You could these champions have not been tested, and right now they're just sitting there. It feels like Charlotte's just sitting there, and okay, she had a brawl, and then so it feels like even though Bianca's wrestling, no, she's kind of like just sitting there as far as the storytelling portion of their titles runs. So Bianca doesn't need much to give her a mic and say, "Yo, Asuka, if you want to see me, if you're, you come out and help me. But if you're gonna come see me, if you want to do this before WrestleMania, then we can fight. You don't gotta sit here and do all this weird
Yeah,
shit.
it was for the championship.
It was okay.
Bianca won the title from Sasha, and then had a feud with Bailey. After that, they had a feud at Backlash, and then a match at Backlash, and then a Hell in a Cell. Inside of Hell in a Cell, and then they was gonna do an I Quit match, and that's when Bailey tore her ACL. So they was gonna have a trilogy. So when
it was after
Sasha, right?
I could have sworn it was before, but
that's what I was kind of making a point of, is that once they made the mistake. That's what I'm trying to say. Rhea was at WrestleMania prior to, and had the match with Charlotte. They could not give that moment again to Rhea. You know what I'm saying? So when they had the final two spot, it's Bianca, you get the turn, right? It's like, hey, I gave the reins to Alex Smith. He got us to the fucking playoffs, but we got our doors blown off in the fucking wild card round. All right, Patrick Mahomes, you got the off season. You got the playbook. We gonna start you. Oh shit, 5 straight AFC championship games. God damn, we should have put you in first. That's what I'm talking about. Like Bianca, ever since she got that motherfucking playbook of, hey, you win the Royal Rumble, you main event fucking WrestleMania, you main eventing against our biggest star in Sasha Banks. That nigga has not motherfucking missed since. Bianca has not, and that's what I'm saying. Once she was like, oh, this is everything and more. Gives me my drive. This gives me the competitiveness. This gives me the fucking the chase to be on top is a different endurance than running a race and building a lead. You know what I'm saying? And she ran track, and I know she loves as a runner to have that motherfucking win and have that endurance to look back and be like, I'm dusting these.
I'm lapping them. Yeah,
I'm dusting these hoes. Right now, since she got that baton from Sasha, and even in that Becky when she lost it, the climb back up, nigga. We were like, dog, what's happening with Bianca now? She better not fall by the wayside now. Like, what's going on? And she did.
What now?
Oh, watch out now. A dragon screw what?
Oh shit, man. Yeah, pretty much, yo. We didn't know what the fuck was going on, but
that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it's not a character arc. It's her being her. It's Bianca. Once Bianca sees something that is Terminator focus in that fucking thing, which is being the fucking best. Right, I'm not gonna be overlooked.
That ESC shit is not a gimmick,
bro.
I feel like she feels that shit,
bro. Listen, Shayna, Io, Kairi Sane, Becky, Bailey, Sasha, all them hoes fall under her now. Asuka, bro, all of them fall under her now. And those were all the bitches she was chasing when she debuted 3 years ago, nigga. This is what I'm trying to tell you. She said, oh, these the hoes? Oh, nigga.
It's called a whole division bitches and hoes. I I guess if you put it that way.
She's like, oh,
No, I think that she's heading. I've been saying it for like it's, to me. It's like you're preaching to the choir. For the past year and a half, I've been saying, Bianca's one of the best wrestlers in the world. In case you all haven't noticed, maybe I'm early to the party on Bianca, and I think that she doesn't still get as much praise as she should be getting. I don't think she
She
gets enough.
doesn't. She doesn't.
I
I
still
think
don't think she gets.
I don't think people really are paying attention that we are witnessing a generational talent. I
Mhm.
know a lot of people, we got another champion that say that this is really it. This is really one. This is really her.
They're both generational talents. I'll tell you that.
Nah,
But
nigga, I don't see nobody dressing up as MJF for Halloween.
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You see it in the audience. You see the
No,
scars, man.
no, that's just
Maybe you
cheating.
haven't seen it. I've seen it. Man.
Okay, Google child dressed like MJF, and I'll Google
I'm not gonna say
child.
child. I'm just gonna say MJF Halloween. All you gotta do is put that. I will put it around Halloween.
No, he's not
And
Darby
boom,
Allin. He's
look it up. Images. Boom. Tons of people went as MJF, including Roman
I'm
Reigns.
talking about generational nigga kids, not grown ass men.
Generational does not mean kids. Generational talent does not speak to old kids like you and they dress up for you as
Hold
Halloween.
on. We're talking about-
Generational means that you bring. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. No, go.
Okay,
You go.
you
Go ahead.
bring
Go ahead.
a certain type of caliber of talent and stardom to the performance that is unique that we have not seen.
And
And
I'm not
MJF
playing-
is
and I'm
that,
not- no.
and so is Bianca.
Whoa, we are not. Let's put. I'm about to.
I'm not comparing them.
No,
They're
no,
two
no, no,
different
no.
types of generational talents,
No,
but they
no.
both are generational talents.
That's the whole point that I was saying. It. That's a catchphrase to one nigga. That's a real life thing to another. Bianca Belair, I believe, will hold fast. Will have a stronghold generationally more than a fucking MJF. Honestly, like,
Hey, you want to compare them, and hey, if you're gonna say that, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm just saying that they're both generational talents. Period. I'm not saying that they're not one's better than the other. I'm just saying that and Bianca, I don't think gets enough credit.
But that's why I would disagree.
Yeah.
But that's why I would say that. That's why I would say one the nigga that isn't a generational talent gets the credit from not saying you, but it's not. He gets more of the credit than she does when she's a legitimate generational talent. MJF is a legitimate star in the times. I would that like they're
okay. And we'll see, and time will tell. But I'm going to say I see a generational talent in MJF, and we can go to talk about him right now.
Let's swing to it. Let's
go
swing
right now to AEW. All right, bet this week MJF was the most entertaining guy in that Four Pillars promo, and he made a claim to why he's a star. Clearly above those guys.
He didn't have a fucking choice of being the most entertaining person. Who was the
not
other
fair,
three?
dog. Not fair.
Why
not fair.
Why is that fair?
Dude.
They not entertaining, nigga? Why is it not fair?
Listen, man. You say he doesn't have a choice. You do. As the champion, you come down, and mind you, AEW, I see y'all booking. I see what you're doing over there. Y'all stealing a little bit of the juice from the WWE. How they book some shit. I'm telling you, how they book this shit. I see they're evolving in how they're doing shit. But I'm not. But we'll see how it plays out. The 4-pillar promo, thought it was fantastic. I thought it was absolutely fantastic because we talked about AEW pushing Kenny Omega, Adam Hangman Page next, Adam Cole, and what it says is like, no, we're gonna go with our originals and we're gonna revitalize them and put them in the spotlight and have MJF come out for the pre-bar bar mitzvah. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was dope. A lot of his lines work for me. A lot of the way he talks about things works for me. And then they come out, they cut their promos on him and why he doesn't deserve to be the spot that he is, and they do, which they had their valid points too. And to me, Darby Allin impressed me. He's one of my underrated guys of the week because this is the first time I've actually heard him talk in a while, and he actually wasn't bad, so I want to give him a shout out. But it genuinely, MJF stood head and shoulders above the rest. I mean, he has a natural humor to him, man. Yeah, when he said, what did he say? Y'all got me mashugging up in this bitch. Like, when he says shit like that, and mind you, I'm in Rockland County, there's a lot of Jewish people here. So we know what mashugging means. Mashugging is like, You all think I'm crazy, like y'all got me fucked up in this bitch, But the way he did that shit and the way he just strutted around the ring was hilarious to me. There's a humor to him, as well as the talent he brings in the ring and storytelling. He hasn't missed for me. He hasn't really missed. I think people want to knock him down a peg every chance they talk about him as if he ain't what he is, which is one of the best wrestlers in AEW.
Yeah. Okay. What? Okay. And
best performers, best superstars. Period.
That's why we have a podcast, because like you have your opinion, I have mine. Listen,
yeah,
MJF.
When I say Bianca Belair's not playing a character, she's herself, which is why I think she's authentic and that's why I like her. I don't think of that when I think of MJF. And when I say generation, Stone Cold himself, generational talent. Rocky himself, generational talent. Ric Flair lived the gimmick for damn near 50 years himself, generational talent. MJF is a really great performer. He's a really good wrestler, and he is a good champion for that company. He held that thing together when they didn't have much to fucking hold them to it. He was the reason why I went to the show. He's still one of the reasons why I went to the show. But when I talk about a legit character arc, I'm looking at a legitimate character arc. He's at a plateau right now. It's flat. If you say he got to the point, he elevated himself, he got to where he wanted to be, and he's flatline. And I need him to go up another level.
What that is, and the humor is something that he's done previously. The lowbrow jokes is something that he's done previously. The in-ring work that he has been steadily improving on, I've never knocked him for that. What I've always said is that once he got to be the man and have the title, I want more of what he has done with some more substance to it. That's all.
He's had substance with Daniel Bryan. He's had something with all these guys. But hey, you want more substance? Now he's there.
I hear you say you're saying give it time. I'm not even knocking the fucking run. I'm not knocking the run. I'm just saying, like, now he's not the reason why I go to the show. Like that's totally not my fucking. That's not because he got. I just don't like him now. Like
to me, I don't get how you say he's plateaued. He had one of the best matches of the year, if not the best match of the year. What, 3 weeks ago? He missed a week, and then he came here.
I didn't say. I even had problems with the feud building up to that, Chidi, because again, it's something that we've seen again. We saw it in the inner circle or the pinnacle, or whatever the fuck it is. You got to go through certain type of rings to get to the boss when he wasn't even a boss nigga to get to. He's always been that type of person. I get it. When Daniel Bryan said that it was personal, I felt like that story hit its fucking plateau because Daniel Bryan should not have went through all the rigmarole to get to MJF when it was personal. He should have went a direct beeline. I don't give a fuck about the title. If the title so happens to be secondary, because you want to talk about booking the story, right? When MJF became champion and William Regal was leaving to go back to WWE, and they did that fucking scene to knock him out. And then it became personal between Moxley, Bryan, and MJF. Once it became one-on-one with Daniel Bryan and MJF, that story should have been like it should have been bloodthirsty, right, for an Iron Man match. It wasn't. It to me.
Okay. I hear you. You're saying that the theme of the match, but to me, that doesn't speak to MJF plateauing. It speaks to the angle wasn't great.
But that's his first angle as champion, and if he used the same, this is what I'm trying to say, Chidi. Let me calm down because I know a lot of people are like, you're so passionate. He used the same tactics that he used for Wardlow, that he used for CM Punk, that he used for Cody Rhodes, that he used for Jericho. And I'm just like, damn, ain't nobody smart enough not to wrestle 6 niggas before they get to him?
I get what you're saying, bro. But to me,
if MJF, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that's what I'm saying. he's not. And
Listen,
again,
it got long on tooth for me too. I was like, damn, yo, how long to Revolution? Like, we got another week, another week. Like, I was like, isn't it next week? Like, no, it's got 3 weeks. I'm like, no, it was a long time.
And
I
in
feel
between,
you.
then he had the match with Ricky Starks, which again, we like, man, Ricky ain't winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, but and then we like, oh well, that puts him in the spot. And the very next night or the very next time he gets out there, he been in fucking a 3 pay-per-view feud
I'm
with
telling you right now.
Jericho.
Oh my God. Well, I hear, and you have a fair point. But my point is this: he's still a generational talent. Period. And maybe you won't see it until he's in WWE. Hopefully, he does go to WWE in 2024. And maybe you're like, oh, I see it now because like Cody, you see it.
No,
But I'm telling you, he has everything.
I think MJF can be a generational talent in AEW. I think again, I'm not knocking it right now. I just want it to be. Again, you say Darby, right? You say I haven't heard Darby speak. I've heard Darby speak a lot, and I know you haven't. You said recently, right?
Yeah.
But Darby cuts really great promos backstage with Sting when he did the feud with so Darby.
But this is the first time I've seen him with a microphone in the ring
Right.
and hold the crowd. You know what I mean? That's a little bit different.
But
for that prepackaged.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. If Darby ever gets real life crowd sympathy, babyface sympathy behind him against MJF, bro, he is the face of that company, right? That is something.
I feel you. I'm always giving Darby like,
right.
Yo, this guy got. Let's go.
But when you say MJF was the most entertaining in the ring, I'm looking at Darby as being the most convincing, right? He's the most authentic in the ring, right? I think he's and MJF follows him right after that because MJF is like, nigga, you absolutely not, nigga. I know you ain't right. I know that's MJF legit. Like so,
yeah, he's funny, man. Like he just cracks me up. Maybe it's just a personal thing, man. But he cracks me up. Like the way he, goes about his art form. I think that every time I see him, I know you say, "Oh, we've seen it before." Me, every time I see him, I expect to see the same thing I saw before, but then he gives me some layer of humor or some layer of depth that is a little bit different. The CM Punk stuff I didn't expect. What's up? The CM Punk stuff I didn't expect that layer of depth. The William Regal stuff I didn't expect that. The sometimes with the humor and jokes he chooses, I expect don't expect some things he does that I don't expect. That I'm like I wasn't really feeling that. Whether it be like the car story with the girl who gave him roadhead and all that stuff, that wasn't for me. But there's not everybody's gonna hit every single time. So what I'm saying about MJF is he's the right man for the moment in AEW. He puts in a lot of work. He works very hard on his craft, and he has a chip on his shoulder. So and that's what I love about him. He is a guy who's if you don't believe it, you're gonna eventually see it one day.
I want to ask you a real life question. Like when they bring up, is he the man for the job when he bitch and moans about and leave the company? And I'm like, they were there still. Like they were on. They do bring people. Listen,
he's also a businessman, and here's what I'll say about that. I'm not saying that he is perfect. I'm not saying that he is Darby, who's going to sit around and just, I'm going to work for my contract because I love wrestling. I'm saying that MJF is a generational talent that he says he's doing it for the money, yo. And he has the right. You say power empowerment. We're seeing it across all sports. He's an example of that too, of saying, listen, y'all brought all these new niggas in here from former WWE stars, and they're getting paid what? Oh, hell no. I just had a great program with CM Punk and Wardlow, put him over. I know how valuable I am. I look at the ratings, and I'm the highest rated hour whenever I'm on TV. You're going to pay me for that. Not Darby, not Jungle Boy, not Sammy Guevara. It's me. And rightfully so, he got paid for it. And he held out, and he used his power because he had the cachet to do it. I don't think Jungle Boy could have done that shit. I don't think so.
Yeah, but also when you talk about adding value to the company, you only add value to the company if you're available.
True, and he came back.
So and when he got back to the company, he this is what I'm trying to say, right? When he got his contract and when he came back to the company,
Was he as valuable? Because by that time we do got Adam Hangman Page there. We do got a hot Daniel Bryant that just had a match, 30-minute match with Kenny Omega. We do
Well,
got
you saw the reaction when he came back, right?
I,
You saw, that's it says it all right there. You know,
I,
he's champion now, so
I, I,
clearly,
and again, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to poke holes in it because again, I'm
yeah.
not gonna not watch. I'm not gonna not watch his segments because he's champion, right? I'm not
Mhm.
gonna. It's not like I'm sabotaging him because he's champion. Like I just, again, I do. I like I said, this Pillars feud. It makes sense.
I like it. It's a great pivot.
It's a great pivot. It's a great way for, like you just said, how WWE didn't know how to make stars at some form or fashion. AEW is like, hey, we're not going to do the TNA route, right? We have our new stars. We have the people that we acknowledge as the ones that's going to carry us forward if we are going to go forward. And so let's go ahead and do the thing. My thing is this: does a four-way between them even matter? Like you said, you said Charlotte and Rhea don't do nothing for you. This
Hey,
pillar shit don't do a thing for me.
wow, I can't believe that you say that because like they're all great wrestlers, bro. You've
Yeah,
seen
but
some of these guys live.
they all don't deserve fucking world
You've
titles.
seen some of these guys live and in person. Maybe they don't right now. Right now, maybe you don't. But what I can say is, right now, while you have these guys, and who knows whose contract's ending when. Right now, all you have is this fatal four way. If it's a great match, I don't care. Like, just give me a really good match. I'm not looking for the title to change right now for MJF. I'm
I
not even
just
expecting that. What I'm saying is that them getting a showcase in the main event of whether it be a Dynamite or a pay per view, the next Double or Nothing, whatever it may be, is a huge moment for all four of those guys. And if you can add a little intrigue that maybe just maybe Darby has a chance, maybe just maybe Jack Perry or Sammy has a chance between now and then, whenever this
only
match happens, if
I
they
have a
do it.
chance. The only person I have a chance is Sammy. I mean, it's Darby. Sorry, Darby. Darby's the only person that because again, this is what I'm trying to say. Sammy Guevara is literally in the fucking trios match with. He was literally in the trios titles match with Jericho and Danny Garcia. He in a love triangle over there in JAS and the Ass Boys and whatever the Jazz Boys, the Jazz Offs, the
Yeah, I
Jazz
hear
Off
you.
Boys.
I hear you, but I'm glad they're pulling Sammy away from these niggas. I don't think Sammy needs to be with Chris Jericho. He's been with Chris Jericho's like entire AEW career. The best Sammy Guerrero I've seen is when that short period of time when he was TNT champion, when they were having that beef with the Inner Circle, and he was like, "I'm on my own, do my own thing." That was the best Sammy I've seen. He had a classic match with Cody Rhodes. He had classic matches each week with different competitors like Jay Lethal. I think had a no, sir, Scorpio Sky. Excuse me. Had a couple matches with him. Like that's the best Sammy I've seen. So I think him being with Tasha Jericho, like baby, like he's like that Daddy Daycare line, AEW Daddy Daycare. That shit was hilarious. It was like MJ's like
It's
I don't
very
really need
funny
any.
that he say that like MJF didn't have Cody when Cody was there, but of course, we're not gonna bring that up.
Ooh.
So
Well,
like
he didn't really need Cody for much long. Like he been gone. Like I was like what a week, 2 weeks. Yeah, it wasn't like that.
it
It
was
was
his
like
first feud. It was the first feud of
yeah,
the
yeah.
so it was a
First
couple
feud.
months.
It wasn't like he was like tagging with Cody and shit. Like it was that. It was like his first feud, to get him over, and it worked. Um, Cody. I mean, MJ has been the man since he's been in AEW, like on his own, kind of like you can see why. Um, so yeah, moving along,
Which then boulders to my point again. The match like Jack Perry and Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin don't mesh well with MJF right now. They're not on this level. So like they all coming to the ring and doing shit. MJF literally should have looked around and said, "Y'all devalue me, nigga. Like, let me get out this motherfucker. Let me cut the promo from the floor, nigga. Like, damn, y'all got a lot of low. It's too low rent in this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
but I like the pivot. I like that, because we don't know when the next live event is going to be with them. If we get a main event on Dynamite with these four guys, I'll take it. It doesn't have to be a pay per view
yeah,
for
please.
all of them to
Because
compete.
it takes about 6 weeks. I can't do a 6 week feud. I can't do a 6 week build of them four niggas. Please.
Damn, you killing these niggas, man.
Bro, you talking about hold on. You want a 6 week feud with them four niggas?
I don't I think I could write it. I'm not sure how they're gonna write it, but
I
I could
don't
do
think
it.
you can't.
I can make you interested in that. I could. I
Bro,
could.
listen, God can't write a promo that's gonna get me 6 weeks with them niggas. You can give me, you can probably give me 6 promos, nigga, but I ain't 6 weeks. That's just 6 promos between the 4 niggas. I need 6 weeks of interesting shit, nigga. Hell no,
I got you,
nigga.
fam. I got you. No, but I don't know when the next show is gonna be, but I think that doesn't have to be on a pay per view. Anyways,
Yo, one thing I do want to mention too. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You
I
want to
want to
close?
pivot
Go ahead.
to the woman.
Oh yeah, I was just about to
I
say.
thought here we're on
I
the
was
same page.
yeah. I was gonna say, yo, can I say it's big clit energy with Taya and Jade on this motherfucker? Because
Yo, I was dying when you sent me the text. I was like, oh my goodness, big clit energy. Taya and Jay, big clit energy. Um, that's funny as hell. No, I'm down to see that. I mean, I think that I had an idea that Taya was going to be there since she's a Canadian wrestler who I'm not sure if she's signed anywhere, and it was just perfect for the show. I was surprised that Jade didn't wrestle her. I was like, oh, they're just setting up the stage for her, so that's cool. I'm down to see that. You know, I don't know what happened with the NXT run because I was interested in that Frankie Monet character, but clearly they let her go. I thought she was doing pretty good with that. But her and Jay's, you know, she actually seems like a competitor that can go with her and go toe to toe with her. You know, like that she's on her level. But we'll see. You know, she's been dealing with jobbers all this time, racking up them W's. But I think that Ty is obviously going to take an L too.
Yeah, somebody who's on my list that I'm probably just gonna scratch off now since we're here and say that I miss and want to see on TV. Red Velvet, where you at, girl?
Yo, don't be talking to my girl like that, dog.
Where you at? Where you at?
yo, I'm saying underground. You underground for real, girl.
Nah, Red Velvet, man. I'm looking forward to her coming back. I think that, you know, I mean, she already had her feud with Jade, but I think she can do so much more. I think after, see, and this is the thing. You're like, oh, well, you know, they're going where you thought, you know, with the woman with the outcasts and all this shit they're doing with.
I'm so smart. I feel happy.
But you don't even know, man. That promo didn't show me that they're going where you said. What you said is blood and guts. You said blood and guts. And what they showed me is that they're just as incompetent as showing and showcasing their champion as they were every single week up until now. And to the point where Jamie Hayter,
Yo, you a hater, bro.
I am a hater. Well, let's put it this way. I'm just let's talk about the facts.
I can't say
This is
nothing
the
about
fact.
MJF, but you
This
can
is-
fucking
this
come
is
and
the
talk about
fact.
Jamie Hayter, nigga.
This is the facts. It's not about her personally. She's a great wrestler. I'm not gonna kill her. But these are the facts about how they showcase Jamie Hayter as champion. They have the Outcast come out and cut a promo on every woman that they beat up. She comes down to the ring with looking twinning with Britt Baker, and both of them in denim. She's a singles women's champion. Why is she twinning with Britt Baker?
The same reason Kofi did with Xavier Woods.
Kofi and Xavier Woods are not Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter is a still budding star in her own right. She cannot.
And so was Kofi. So was Kofi.
No, he's not. He has like 20 years in the game, bro. What are you talking about?
Hold on. You talk about no, stop. Don't do. Listen, you want to talk about let's do apples to apples. You want to say why is she twinning? Why is she wearing denim and shit like that? You telling me that when Kofi was champion, you said the same thing with him and Xavier Woods? And
listen. He had 11 years in that game, and he was in. We all know the story of the New Day and how they supported.
And we
Kofi
all know that Britt Baker and Jamie was that's.
This is
Jamie's been at Britt Baker's side literally from the 3 left.
Oh my god, yo,
bro!
You wanted her to turn on Britt too. Let's stop acting like we don't want Jamie Hayter versus Britt Baker. We've been saying that for a minute.
We've Kofi never versus Big E too, nigga. Yes.
Listen, my point is this. And if they put and guess what? And when Big E won the championship, they took him and put him on a different brand because he had to stand out from the New Day. He had to ride on his own. With this Jamie Hayter stuff, guess what happened when they came out? They got their ass beat. So you got your champion getting her ass beat when she comes out to defend her name with her twinning friend Britt Baker, who's a bigger star than she is. right after that, she gets saved by these randoms, and what's it for Willow? But these randoms, and I'm like, yo, so they have to come save the champion, and that's what I'm trying to say. The way they're booking, I don't hate Jamie Hayter, man. I'm just saying that if you want to showcase her as the head honcho of your women's division, you guys are doing a fucking terrible job. It's a terrible job they're positioning her in. She shouldn't be twinning. She should not be twinning and she should not be getting her ass beaten and saved by Sky Blue or Blue Sky, whatever the fuck her name is. That should not be a fact. And that's what happened. They talked their shit. She came out, she got her ass beat, and she had to get Jobber save her. That's ridiculous to me. And still, I'm not excited for no blood and guts match because I have no faith in our champion because she just got her ass beat. Like, why is she always in the background? Like, if they don't tell the story where Jamie Hayter's fed up and just kicks everybody's ass, including her friends, then she's looking like an afterthought when she has the title belt. It makes no sense to me. Maybe you were excited for this, but I was not. I was even more pissed off. Jamie Hayter, get your own attire and get away from these niggas. Get away from these women. Yeah.
It was 3-on-2. So if you don't want to believe that, then fine. I guess.
How many times have we seen 2-on-3 and they come up and they even the odds, through like
the story that they're telling, bro?
What are the story they tell? You tell me.
Yeah, man. Like you give me this whole soliloquy like you're not watching that. Like, yeah, they're building an angle of the outcast women who weren't originally signed with AEW coming in, Cornwall to doing a hostile takeover. It's a bullshit ass invasion angle. Yes. Now you can look at this is literally okay. Jamie Hayter don't have to be involved in the feud, but she was the focal point because Saraya wanted a title shot. So that is how she's involved. I get that. What is fucking up the story is how Saraya it's told better if we just have a Mean Girls thing of like if Jamie could be playing the background, you would not have a problem with Jamie playing the background as champion, putting her little finishing touches on the end of Britt doing her whole fucking thing, and they're Mean Girls. It just doesn't. I can't, and you can say no, but I can guarantee you, if they just literally flip the fucking script of who was good and who was bad, you will be like, yeah, okay, like because again,
it would be like maybe 2% better than it is right now.
It won't be 2% better because it will be Britt getting Jamie into fights that Jamie don't necessarily want. It's like
that's a little bit different, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's Sean and Diesel, right? If Sean is like, you know what I'm saying, and Diesel's like, nigga, I'm only here because you here, nigga, but I could be kicking it. You know what I'm saying? But like, no, we gotta fuck these niggas up. And I'm like, well, if we have to, but I don't want to.
If Britt Baker's mouth is getting her into fights that would be great.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not. But it's not. I can totally understand that. I totally understand that. But what I'm saying is that it's not Jamie's fault.
It's not, and I want to be clear on this.
It's not.
I don't hate Jamie Hayter. It is not her fault that her title run is being usurped by all these other women on the roster. It's really not making her look like a champion. And this is just my opinion. You tell me if you like when you watch the show, you're like, oh, that looks like a champion to me when I watch Jamie Hayter. It don't. And I think if I was her, she should be frustrated.
When she's in the hold on, first and foremost, when she has her, yes, I do. Because when I see Jamie Hayter, it's when she's performing. Right? When she has that banger of a match with Toni Storm, I look at her like, yeah, she's a champion. When she has that fucking banger of a fucking All Japan Women's match, you know what I'm saying?
See where you're doing right now? It's the matches,
No,
and I get you. There's a lot of people that can do really good matches at AEW. There's a lot of women on the roster that have banger matches. I'm talking about you are the legit AEW Women's Champion, meaning that you should be the number one woman star on the roster, in my opinion. Not the
Before
best wrestler.
MJF just had the best match of the year, which was the best match of his career. Nigga, the only thing that carried him to be fucking status was his mouth. Nigga, it wasn't his performance. So we can't say it was.
That's not true, man. Don't do that. It's not fair.
Hold on.
He's had great matches with a bunch of people.
Hold on. What? Okay. Dog collar match out. Iron Man match out. Give me a fucking other MJF match.
Takashita, Ricky Starks, those matches were awesome. He doesn't have a lot of matches. Those matches were good matches. It showed his talent in the ring. That's what I'm trying to say, though. If you can get there with your mouth,
last 4 matches, nigga, you be like, give me something else. Like, get the fuck out.
Yo, no, you're missing the argument. The argument is not can Jamie Hayter wrestler. She can wrestle. But the problem is that she can't. She doesn't have the MJF talking ability. She doesn't have the flashiness or the that other wrestlers have. She doesn't stand out. Now you can put a title on anybody. You can take the title. You can put it on fucking the Bunny if you wanted to, and do the same thing that you're doing with Jamie Hayter. In my opinion, only thing that makes her different is that she can wrestle way better. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about as the woman champion. It's more than just, hey, you're a better wrestler than most people. It's more than that. You got to actually stand up head and shoulders above the crowd, just like you're saying about Bianca Belair. She's head and shoulders above the crowd.
Hikaru Shida was their champion because why? She was a good performer, right? That's it. Because I didn't connect to her. She didn't speak. She didn't give me a promo. She was just a good wrestler. But she was the first champion. Rio. You know what I'm saying? Nyla Rose. She wasn't a good promo either, nigga.
But she had better storylines than Jamie did. And they didn't put other people around Nyla or Hikaru Shida and make her seem like an afterthought. And that's what I have a problem with, is they're surrounding Jamie Hayter with a bunch of other people. She's getting saved by people that were literally on freaking Dark yesterday. So it's like, what are you doing to your main women's champion? It's almost like after you watch Rampage, you think about everything else than Jamie Hayter. And that shouldn't be the case. I would have centerpieced her in every single week. And you would that by now she would have felt like, oh yeah, she's standing out head and shoulders above Britt Baker, or her and Saraya seems like an even match. I wouldn't have, if she has to go on the mic every week, I'll fucking put her on the mic every week. Learn, like on the fly, on the job. You're the champion. No more tagging along with Britt Baker. You're out there by yourself. That's the thing I wanted to see. And if you want to get to Blood and Guts and they're going there, cool. But if they're not going there, I am furious. It's even worse. It's even worse if they don't go to Blood and Guts. This is even worse than I thought.
I want to do a quick pivot back transition since we were talking about 2 white women. I want to go to another set of 2 white women that I like this week. Carmella and Chelsea Green. I like that.
You like that?
I mean, it's not that I'm drinking milk.
No.
Nigga, that's not for you. I'm talking, nigga, because I will get indicted. Nigga, no. Okay.
Why is it such a big problem if white women are attractive for you? It's like, oh, can't drink milk.
I'm lactose intolerant, nigga.
I mean, we all are lactose. I'm lactose intolerant too. I don't gotta say it every single time.
Listen. I offended the white men last week with QT Marshall. I don't want to offend the white women and say they're not attractive. I'm just saying they just listen. Okay, Chelsea and Carmella, respectively, are married.
It works. It works. No, listen, I get you. I'm just saying, like we get what you meant by the pairing.
Alpha and Isla, though, that's another thing. Another set of white women.
They working for me too, dog. Alba fire. Yo, Isla Dawn. Keep doing your thing, girls.
I'm not gonna hold you, brother. If we rank in sets of white women, Jamie and Britt is in 3rd, nigga.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not. Yeah. Anyways. Carmella and what's her name?
Chelsea.
Chelsea's. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that they could work as a pairing. I think it's like
absolutely.
it fits the
Absolutely.
energy. The energy fits. The current angle.
I fuck with
Yeah,
him. I think they can. I think they can be something. Again, they break up tag teams like a mug over there, but
they do. Yeah.
I think they can. I think they can do a little something. And speaking of tag teams, like I said, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. Um,
They holding it down in the NXT Women's Division. I don't know what's going on with Casey and Casey,
Katana.
JoJo. Yeah, I'm
They're
saying.
breaking them up.
I don't know if they breaking up, but they just
I don't know what they doing the character wise. I don't know if they bring them up. I don't know what's going on with them. But once they
No, they just keep them together, man. They just keep them together. They need
one-
some tag teams on the main roster. Um,
um one more, like I said, Hobbs and Will Phoenix
okay,
is something that was a really good match on Rampage. It kicked off the show. So if you get some time, go ahead and check that out.
okay, for
My
sure.
Kenny Omega is wrestling Vikingo. That's how you say his name.
El Vikingo.
Yeah,
Dill.
I sound real gringo saying that. I'm sorry. Whatever. I know he do some really cool spots. You know what I'm
I
saying?
haven't
So
seen him wrestle, so I'm interested because people are acting like he's like one of the
no
best rookies
nigga.
of the year.
He the highlights and shit that I see from this nigga, icy.
he
Okay,
wanted a smooth. We thought Ray Phoenix was something, nigga. Yeah,
he better
yeah,
than Ray. Okay, now
yeah.
Ray's one of my top favorite wrestlers. Honestly,
Nah, you got
yeah.
nigga the okay. So the highlights that I saw of this nigga is Will Ospreay Ricochet
Okay,
2015 level.
wow. Okay,
He killing the game on the internet right now. You know what I'm saying? So
shout
I
out
can't.
to El Vikingo.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I guess another thing we can talk about on Wednesday is the main
El
event.
Hijo del Vikingo. Excuse me, El Hijo del Vikingo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the main event was the trios title, the trios triple threat match. Pretty good match, really decent match. They was in winner peg.
Winnipeg.
So Jericho and Kenny Omega had to get their shit
From
in.
Winnipeg, you idiot.
Um, that was a really good match. It was outstaged though by the ending segment of Blackpool Combat Club, who just can't find themselves out the way of the main event, and the Elite, who can't seem to find themselves out of the main event. So, any thoughts or anything going on that, or we just gonna wait for the progression of that going forward?
We can wait for it. I think it was like filler week. I honestly feel like with a filler week. And they put a little tease at the end. Oh, it's Hangman Page and the Young Bucks and Kenny the Elite is back together. And them coming to have his back, and then the Blackpool Comic Club backing off. You guys really need to bring home for me the Blackpool Comic Club as heels. I haven't really that one beatdown doesn't work for me like that enough. I mean they've been beating people up period along all the time. Why does that make them heels now? Because it was after the bell, so I think that they're frustrated and rightfully so. But give me a promo, give me something more than that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Other than that, it was a good match, man. Don't overshadow the the House of Black. That's all I want to say. The House of Black did their thing. I really am a big fan of Brody King and Buddy
Absolutely,
and Malachi Black,
Buddy
but Brody King,
Matthews. Yeah,
Buddy Matthews. Yeah, excuse me. So everybody's names changed. So I'm gonna have a hard time with looking up at these. But yeah. But yeah, I'm a big fan of them. So just with the show ending that way, all right, let House of Black get their shit too, and put them in a highlighting stuff, highlight them as well if you're gonna give them the main event. That's all I gotta say.
okay. We running a little hot on the show.
Hmm.
Do we have Book and Black Business Logic, or you want to go to our top fives to end it?
We can go to our top fives. Yeah.
All right, so right now, everybody, this week, how we gonna end the shows going forward? We gonna have two top fives. All right.
One top five is going to be consist of our underground performers of the week, people that we would like to see more of, people that are kind of in the play of doing things, but not in the ain't on a scale. So we the
Yeah,
underground of professional wrestling podcast. We want to shout out the underground people that's doing their thing.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And our next top five, we solidified it as the best of the week. We were going to do power rankings, but we thought that it was going to be a little bit monotonous if we was going to continuously have Roman Reigns at number one. You know what I'm saying? Then it's just a Mount Rushmore. Who got the top four? You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do top five best of the week. So I'm gonna let Chidi go first with his underground of the week.
I want to end off on the underground. Let's go with our best of the week.
All right, so go ahead. You gonna go with your best of the week? Go ahead.
Yeah, best of the week. Top five. Let's go. Five is Usos. It speaks for itself. They are the best tag team in the world. And it goes to show that they can cut a promo and they can wrestle. Even in during the no holds barred match with KO and Solo, I thought that their interaction with that, KO comes backstage, gets super kicked out of nowhere. That shit was dope as shit. So I'll give them my number five spot. Number four, Sami Zayn. Same reason why promo skills, wrestling wise, he right now going towards WrestleMania season. He is, you know, one of the top baby faces in the company. You all know why we love Sammy, and his promos are one.
Now, quick
And
question: do you want air horns or wrestling bells? Which one you want? Which one do you prefer?
whatever you feel, whatever floats the boat. You know.
Let's do wrestling bells. Let's do wrestling. Wrestling.
Number three, Gunther. Gunther, man.
Ah.
A tear on the mic, him interfering in that match. Dude, right now is in my top five of the week because he is, like you said,
This
one of the
title the
best
best.
Intercontinental champions
It's
of
making this the
last
best.
decade. So shout out to Gunther. I'm looking forward to the Triple Threat WrestleMania, and I hope he retains. Honestly, MJF number two. Man, I told you about him already. Generational talent, man. The guy came out looking like shit, but his whole Bob Miss hit the bell, motherfucker. Hit the bell. Hit the bell for MJF. This guy right now, I think that he brings a entertainment value to AEW that not many people can bring other than him. And that's why he's number two. And number one goes to Cody Rhodes, man. The dude's on that level right now. Cody Rhodes, number one. That promo, like you said, on Monday Night Raw, from the heart, and it's I'm just proud of him. I'm proud of the guy. He's reached the level where he's himself. He's in a groove, and he's the main. He has the potential to be the guy for WWE, and you can see it every single time he steps on the mic. Even when he was with side by side with Roman in front of him, you can see that he's not like outmatched on the microphone. And we'll see how he does in the ring at WrestleMania. Those are my top five. Do you want to do yours next?
Yes. All right. I think my list is gonna be very controversial to yours. So
Hey, do whatever you like.
you can do whatever you. All right. Number 5, MJF. No, we can side by side it because the show must end how it starts. Cool. That is fantastic. Yo, oh man, that's excellent. All right, number 5, MJF. I tuned into AEW to see his rebar mitzvah. Like you say, he is still a draw for me for television. Especially when we're competing for things to watch, even though it's not really much going on right now.
Even after all the shit you talk, I'm proud of you, man. You put him in your top five. What's up?
I mean, all the shit I talk is. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I think it's a really good catchphrase that he's a generational talent. When I was speaking on the legitimate generational talent, like Nicolio. Listen, Nicolio Jokic in basketball. He's gonna be possibly a 3-time MVP. When they look back on the generational players, they're gonna be like, he played against Embiid, he played against Giannis.
Ooh, that's how I gonna feel about him.
That's
Yo,
that.
if I was Jokic, I would be mad, yo. Y'all be really like downplaying his shit. Yo, a lot of people and MJF too. Yo, y'all be put respect on
I'm
both of these
not.
guys'
I'm
names.
not. That's the thing, though. I'm not downplaying it. What I'm trying to say is that when we say warranted a 3-time MVP, or we talk about we warranted the title of generational talent, we just say we're gonna need a little bit more, other than the what I'm saying, of the agreements of the popular, of the
I
popular.
hear you. I mean, I'm not sure if
Like,
that is like the popular. I know it's a catchphrase. Me, I personally think that he is reaching that level of generation, but I think that more of a projection. I don't think that like, oh, he's done the work
right,
and body of
correct.
work of,
And
yeah, yeah,
I think that's what I think that is my I
yeah.
think that was my thing, right?
Okay,
When I was speaking to, like, he has to walk in that elk, right? That's what I was saying in Bianca. Like, it's not a character arc with her in the sense where when we saw it, we knew it. With
okay.
him, we
And I
saw
hear,
we had to grow into it.
yeah,
That
and I think that he has more to grow into. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. Whereas Bianca's at the pinnacle, no pun intended. Yeah.
exactly. So number 5, MJF. Number 4, Cody Rhodes. I got Cody at number 4. He sparked off my wrestling week on Monday with a very good match against L.A. Knight. Yeah, a really decent impact match that they had. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's the only gear that motherfucker Eli Drake know how to work in, nigga. It's like impact style, nigga. I'm not moving no faster, no slower. We working right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cody. He did also, and he brought the band back together with Sammy and KO. So he's on my top 5 at number 4. Number 3 is gonna surprise you. I hit the button way before I said it.
All right. Who's number 3?
Orange Cassidy.
Like out of here, yo. Wow. I can't stand this guy, yo. I cannot stand this guy. I swear to God.
Hold on. He's only
I'm,
on there
I'm
for
happy
one
for him.
reason. For one reason only. He ain't let Jeff Jarrett win the title. Nigga, because if he would have lost to Jeff Jarrett,
the Interstate 95 championship.
yeah, if that nigga would have lost to Jeff Jarrett, brother, he would have caught all types of hell for me.
Yo, they're in Canada. I still don't get how you're doing an international championship and none of these guys are international. Not one guy is international, and you're in Canada, of all places.
And
This
then
is like my bad
they gonna bring the Viking nigga over here to wrestle, and he gonna wrestle Kenny Omega. Why the Mexican nigga can't wrestle for the like what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Makes no sense.
I don't know. I don't know. When nigga can Andrade wrestle, he Mexican.
Yo,
You know, like
yeah.
what is like where
Where
is niggas
is he?
at? You know what I'm saying?
Rusev, shit.
Nigga,
Where, where,
bring in EJ the judge from MLW. Ain't he African? Like can
yo,
some
it could have been freaking Ethan Page. He's Canadian. What the fuck are they doing? Yeah, and I miss Rusev. What the
Miro
Mero? Yeah, what the hell's going on?
worshiping his wife.
I mean, that's played, yo. What's going on? I get it, man.
She's
What's
fine.
she doing?
Nigga.
She's been fine for like forever, like for 8 years now. We know. Like, what are you doing, Miro?
Now she making
You can't just say, "Oh, my wife."
Yeah, I mean, now she making money that he can live off of it. He good.
What on OnlyFans? What is it?
She got, it's cjperry.com, nigga. It's
Oh,
beyond
her own.
OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Hey man, I get it. Hey, if you can live off of it, go for it.
I mean, listen. The Mandy was rating penises, so I'm pretty sure, like,
I don't get it. I don't get how Tino Sabatelli can just let his girl rape penises for money. I mean, hey, you get money, you get $1 million. I guess you can let it. Is that what it costs? Does it cost $1 million for your girl to be like raping penises online?
But that's my thing, though. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, if you know,
That's your price.
yo, nah, I'm just saying, like, yo, okay, so I just quick. Let me get. Fuck, I'm gonna get through my top five. But this is a quick sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
You watch joints with your joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no writer myself, but I know what ain't me. You know what I'm saying? So I do know that, whatever might be in the mold of my wife or my lady that's getting her off, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the sense of making some cash, this goes back again. She's seeing it, not me. I ain't. This is a different thing. It's the same thing as watching the video. She ain't got no access to it. She ain't got no nothing to it. It's simply
Okay, but she's also posting and asking for requests on how to perform.
But my thing is, if they asking for the girl on girl, that's another win for you, nigga. Who holding the camera? And if they ask for girl on guy, what guy they seeing? It's you.
I guess. I mean, hey, I guess we're in the world today, But for me, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I think there is some things I want just for me, but that's just me.
No, I understand. Now when we talking about, like you say, C.J. Perry and Mandy Rose and things of that nature, those are not saying that our women possibly aren't that, like things that people are trying to see, but it's a price of admission to see my lady. That's another type of status that I'm like, you can't operate on. You can't operate insecurely
To
on
me,
that.
I know, of course, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it,
Right.
but to me, it's like I can't pimp out my woman. That's how I look at it. That's how it feels. Or something like, yo, my woman's making way more money for me by showing out her body. You know, that's what it seems like to me. And if I can pimp out somebody else's woman, like I can pimp out somebody else that I don't take serious, or and we can we can make
But
money.
this is where the line is drawn, right? My wife and my girl ain't really doing tricks. You dig? Like she not out there literally getting the hand in hand. You know what
No,
I'm
but
saying? Like
you are still. I'm not saying that she's performing with other men.
no, but
It's
the lusting, right? I understand the lusting of your. But again, like let's just keep it a buck. If you got one of them ones, you got one of them ones. When she go to the motherfucking grocery store, and they gonna be thinking about trying to tap
I
her.
don't yeah, and that's cool. I don't mind that. But you're saying, oh, I can access all of it online and I can see the whole thing. Now, granted, for me, Manny Rose is not really my type personally. I'm more of a CJ Perry. She can get it, but Mandy Rose is not my type. I can see why people like her, but then the content she puts out, it's like everything's there. So I don't care. I don't care. Like if you're not doing nothing with no other man, like if everything's there, then you're like, oh yeah, babe, I'm filming content, and I'm like, what? Let's go, like, just do my thing while you're doing. That's your job now. Like it just, I think long term with a relationship, as for a person I see as my woman, my queen, or whatever you want to say, there's a certain status I wouldn't. Now, if it's just like my girl, like that, I genuinely don't see a future with. Yeah, I can't. I can like, all right, do your thing. We can make some bread.
But that goes back to, like I say, well, not like I say, but like the evolution of thought with liberation, right? Where you saw the Sierra dress, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
I didn't think it was that bad, honestly.
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's my thing though. It's the equivalent. It's almost the equivalence to that, right? But I think that the discourse behind it was how is she so churchy or whatever the case may be, and has the ability or the dexterity to be liberated that way?
Never seen Sierra be churchy. I'll be honest with you. She can act like that,
That's
but
what I'm
Sierra's
saying.
always been Sierra. What the
I'm
fuck are you talking about?
saying that's what I'm saying.
Have you seen the Ride video?
That's
Have
what I'm
you seen
saying.
that? Yeah, that's what she does, man. Like you can't take people's nature out of themselves. Like what who they are is who they are. I think
So that
Megan Good went through the same thing with her church
and
boyfriend
that
pastor.
but that's what I
She's sexy. Like she
but
has a sex appeal about her.
but that goes back to CJ Perry and
Mhm.
Mandy Rose, right?
Yeah, I feel
Niggas
you.
not going to see them wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas not paying the price of admission. Like, yeah, we about to see them niggas get it in. Like, no, we about to listen. I don't give a fuck if Scarlett ever wrestle a match again. She just needs to do that entrance and stay in front of the camera, in front of Karrion Cross, and I will watch every fucking
I
segment.
hear you. I hear you. But then again, she's not like taking dildos online. And and I think that if you were, and I'm sorry, but
No,
being
no, no, no,
real,
no,
if
that's true.
she, if I mean, for me, this is me personally. If my girl's doing that, and then we are in the moment, I'm like, yo, yeah, she's doing this shit online too. Like it just takes a little bit from our personal life. To me, that specialness about what our
I think
intimacy.
that's true too, and I also think that in the moment as well, like it goes to men and women too, right? The emotional connection, right? Because sometimes women just want to get dogged out in front of the camera, and then also you can have a moment with nothing around and have the candlelit dinner and actually make love to you. You know what I'm saying? Like there are still
I can do both with my woman, but I don't want somebody
yeah
else seeing her imitate it online. This is just for us. This is it. you
no
know,
no so you are not of the ilk of um having your woman post nude or online if she
if
has
it, if she
if she
had news online prior to us getting together, all right, it's whatever. But once we're in a relationship, that's just dead. Like like we're not. You're not doing that with me. Like we're not having no OnlyFans. I don't care.
you're not starting no new habits with me, nigga.
Nah.
oh
So
man, okay, back to my top five. Best of the week, Gunther. Number two, for all the points that you have mentioned, bringing prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship, um, him setting up the feud that was going to lead to the triple threat, him being like, "Hey, I said one, no, I know we're going to give him two," and that's really great. And number one for me, Jay Uso.
okay.
And the Emmy goes to Joshua Fatu
Wow.
for his work on WWE episode 2375. Raw for his this nigga was in his bag
Nah, he's
on
been
Friday,
on a roll, man.
whatever that show was. He was in his bag on SmackDown, my nigga. Like he deserves whatever award can be given, like real legitimate. This nigga, like somebody told me a long time ago, I take too serious, and maybe they was right, but I protect my family, Oos, and I let my guard down. And what you do? Everything I said, dog. Like what you do, nigga. What you do when I let you in, and and you, bro, you did not have to. You could have just like everything you said earlier about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Like I turned my back. Sami Zayn could have went to Kevin Owens. Like I didn't do it around Royal Rumble. I walked away.
Mhm.
I walked away. I'm your friend. I didn't do it. No, he wanted to be self grandiose. He wanted to be grandstanding. He wanted to take the moment to himself. He wanted to be selfish. He wanted to hit. Nigga, it's for all of the niggas is in the ring, and he say, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this and get it
Right
right
now, this is the perfect time.
now." Yo, everybody looked at that and was like, "Really?" You know?
No, it's perfect though. It's perfect, man. I think the
So
crowd
Jay,
went crazy.
from that moment,
Yo,
like
there's been so many good promos with the angle, man. So many good moments. Even this past, they keep hitting us, man. Like every week or every 2 weeks, it's like like another big crowd reaction, like and I hand it to you. You're not controversial top five. Like I fuck with it, except for Orange Cassidy was kind of funny, but yeah, like everything made sense to me.
Really great reasons. Jeff
Yeah,
Jarrett's not champion.
I feel you. I
Um,
got you.
you want me to go into my underground and you end the show with
Yeah,
your underground?
yeah, bet.
Okay, so I'm back to my underground
Top five. I promise this top five won't take long. We won't get into bitches or naked bitches. Um, we gonna talk about naked niggas. All right, number five. Maxi Male Models. Dumb niggas.
It's called Maximum, but you said
Maxine.
magazine, so I'm cool with it.
Maxi Male Models, nigga. She got a list. She got her a roster. You want to talk about pimping niggas? To go full circle in the conversation, nigga.
Yo, shout out to magazine.
Shout out to Maxine,
Hit
brother.
magazine.
Yo,
Yeah.
Maxine got these niggas on the string. You dig? Like, nah, underground man. I know they really don't have a lot of space to work within, but the space that they're working within is really good shit, man. Again, the introduction of Otis or the inclusion of Otis that they're trying to do and cause a wedge between the Alpha Academy, which is a really good time to break that up and branch off. Like I said, I believe Otis is a really great comedy act that can be around for a minute if he stays within his lane. So
Sure.
I love that. Number four underground, Emma. Um, she's on my underground list because I believe that there's so much more that's there that I want to see from her. She was on the brink of it when she was behind Madcap Moss, and I thought I was gonna get a little bit of a heel turn, and she was gonna give that little edge to Madcap, and it was gonna be like an evil couple, and I still think that that's there because she's losing still. You know what I'm saying? But she's a really good performer. She looks really great. She looks back, healthy. She looks comfortable, and I know she's glad
Yeah.
to be on the road with Madcap. She looks like I just want
I like
more
Emma.
from. I do. I do. I like it.
But what I will say about her is the best I've seen Emma is when she was with somebody who also is kind of underrated, and that is Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke has not looked as great since she left NXT. NXT, she had a moment, yo. Real talk. Her and Emma had a thing.
Yeah,
And
but
if they
I
can,
think Emma's outgrown Dana Brooks, and I only reason why I say that, and I don't mean it, and I hear you on
no,
that,
go ahead.
but I think when we talk about being with someone that's underrated or underground, I would have loved to see Emma and Liv have a feud. Like I know they're doing a tag team bit right now, but like if we're talking about in a singles run, right, when Liv was doing hardcore Liv and she was trying to find her path and being, you know, I would have loved for her to like bump into Emma on like, because Liv crazed out one time and bumped into Emma and that, Emma just got like I
Yeah, I would
just
like to see that.
I
I
would have
mean,
I
I
just
think
and
that
I think Liv as a baby face would have worked. Emma Turner like would have worked. I would have loved that.
yeah, we
Like
need tag teams though. And
we,
Emma and Dana can reunite after
that's
along
true.
down the road somewhere. But I hear you.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. But I think like bringing her back, I think she would have served the purpose. Just keeping the trajectory. Because again, Madcap losing, we don't need him. I just don't want. If they're going to be attached together, I would love for them to be a complaining or mad. I missed my opportunity couple. Like that would have served the purpose to me, and I think that that's still available there for her.
I got you.
Number three on my list, Underground, Hurt Business. Where the fuck are y'all niggas at? Okay, I am waiting for the
At
return.
this point, there's no Bray. He walked out. We didn't even talk about that. Apparently, he walked out. So Bobby is just out there in
He
the
didn't walk
wind,
out. He's hurt. He's hurt.
hurt.
No,
You
what,
know,
what now? What is that
when
for?
did he get hurt? Where? How? When? I heard he walked out.
Well, how did? Okay, where'd you hear from? Ringside News, like
I heard from everywhere. Don't worry about it.
the
I heard it. But listen, maybe he did get hurt, but at the end of the day, either way, Bobby brought Lashley's out in the wind. yo, this is the perfect time to be like, yo, let's get the group back together. He can help Omos beat Brock Lesnar, or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the point. Like I'm waiting for that to like. I never really believed that it was gonna be Omos and Brock at WrestleMania, and if it is gonna be a spectacle because Omos is making the rounds and everything like that, the media runs like he's doing a lot of you know prep, appearances. Um, if he does get the spot, having Bobby come back, hit his music. Last year, Omos and Bobby was at WrestleMania. I mean, if it's some type of
Alliance
handshake,
this year,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? If it's some type of a handshake, this, you know what I'm saying, like agreement where the Hurt Business get back together and beat down Brock. I mean, in the spirit of Kofi, I love that shit.
Brock has beat every single black champion. So yeah, let's get this nigga. Let's get him. Nah, but listen, I think that Brock chose, like, they kind of booked this so he can get in and get out WrestleMania. Let's do it quick and let me get out of here. But yeah, I think that Omos is a spectacle. So that's why they book him in Crown Jewel. They book him for WrestleMania, because when you send him on Access and he's walking around, everybody looking around like, oh, that's a really big guy. Am I going to see this guy at WrestleMania? Yeah, you are. He's going to be having a match against Brock Lesnar of all people. So it's just, draws those, fringe fans.
My number two of underground or people I want to see more of for the week is we talked about them already. Isla Dawn and Albert Fire. They won their number one contenders match. So they'll be at Stand and Deliver. Speaking of Stand and Deliver, just get me there. I mean, there. Just please, just get me to Stand and Deliver. That's
Yes,
all I got.
indeed.
That's all I got to say about NXT. But Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, I love the Sisters of Destruction. They're doing a really good job of just bouncing off each other with the crazy, with the moves, with just the promos, everything, the presentation. I like it. I want to see more of it. That's my number two.
Gets the people
Underground
going.
gets this provocative, baby.
It's provocative.
It's provocative. And my number one, I've been bouncing back and forth between this and as far as like, is it really truly underground or not? But
I mean, if it's for
Shane,
you, for you.
go ahead.
No, if it is for you, then yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, Shane Taylor has made his presence back on Ring of Honor, um, kind of television,
Okay.
and if it ain't Shane Taylor and Samoa Joe, I don't want it. Like
I love it.
I don't want it. But for him to be back, he underground, Ring of Honor is underground.
No, that's underground for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and over time, I will add a little bit more of the of my expansiveness of what I'm looking at, what I'm for right now. That out of everything, Shane Taylor's out of everything that I want to see more. Shout out to Chris Bay, shout out to Vishwan, shout out to Myron Reed, shout out to Samoan SWAT team winning the championships out there in MLW. You know what I'm saying? But none of that's cracking, beating out everybody I got on my underground. So go ahead with yours, Cheaty, so we can wrap this joint up.
Number five, I got both Montez and Angelo Dawkins. I think they both, with their promo on Raw backstage, I think they both have performed extremely well, and it gives you some kind of like, oh, what's gonna happen next? If they when they're on the screen, you look and you can pay attention. And then Dawkins in the ring with Austin Theory, I think was great. So Street Profits, y'all got number five. I didn't see too much of the Viking Raiders, but they're still one of. I want to see them still, man. Like I want to see more of them. So Viking Raiders number four. Maybe they should be number five, but we can swap those two. Um, Number three, I gotta go with Darby Allen. That promo he did, underrated. I think Darby, definitely stood out to me this week. So that performance on the mic, and I think that he has potential to be a main event player. I've said this for a long time now. Number two, Jade Cargill. getting up that 54th victory, 54th.
54, 54 and 0.
Yeah, 54 and 0, man. So you can go ahead, take out Taya, make that a smooth 55. But when she comes out to the ring, we all know Jay right now is. I
Is
just
she
I just want her.
underrated?
She's underrated to me because I think that her stature has not, like, she is not being used to her peak in AEW. She's not, to me. Like, you can go through this whole mixed mosh of the main AEW Women's Championship feud and bring up all these jobbers and mix them in. Jade Cargill, when she comes out there, she looks how Jamie Hayter should, and that is like a fucking star. And she gets on the mic, she says, and she spits her shit, and
Yeah,
she,
but Jade is not Jade.
yeah, we get it. I
Jade.
know, I know. I'm not trying to compare, but I'm trying to say how I feel about the star potential and where the position on the card and why I believe Jade is underrated. So right now, yes, she may have got a little spot there, but to me, I need to see more. That's why I'm saying she's number 2 on my underrated list. And number 1, our boy, our guy Wesley, he is holding down the North American Championship division in NXT for ages now, and now he's gonna be having a fatal 5-way. He's gonna have a fatal 5-way because you guys can't find a single competitor for him. So I mean, y'all throwing 5 guys at him now. Like, come on, or 4 guys, Let's, like, so at this stand and deliver, I just know it's gonna be a dope match. He's who I'm tuning in for. I think that he's a great champion. He's not. He's kind of coming to his own as far as being this acrobatic kind of darling for NXT. And it's, if you haven't paid
Cardiac
attention,
kid.
huh?
Well, the cardiac kid. And I want to, and to your point of, the North American Championship and not having a challenger, in the spirit of what that title is, right? It's always kind of really, it got introduced as a multi-man match championship.
True, true, and I hear you.
And the NXT champion, the North American title match that we saw in Dallas was a multi-man ladder match. So
True,
there,
but I still would like to see some kind of story, And here's the thing: I can't deal with, oh, everybody's just gonna brawl on the entrance ramp, and oh, who's next? That to me is played. They did it last week. They did it again this week. I'm like, all right,
well,
all
that's the
right,
reason. That's the reason why they can't do it again, because Sean cut the cut. Sean was like, "Yo," and that's the thing. Well, honestly, to me, me and you are different. Like you say,
okay,
I I don't necessarily, like you say, you do it the one time open challenge. If it's an open challenge, how is it pre-known that this guy is going to go on? Right? That means like everybody got in the back and drew straws or whatever, nigga. Like how did this happen? You know what
yeah,
I'm
I feel
saying?
you.
Like, so
Somebody just came out first, yeah.
for a legit open challenge, like how did you get here first? You know what I'm saying? So when you do it the first time, yes.
Yeah,
Second
yeah.
time, I hear you do the second time, like, okay. But this is why I love it right now, right? They say, hey, there's not a there's not a standout challenger. So we're not going to force anything. And I appreciate that because it would demean the reign of Wesley. I really didn't like the Dijak feud too much, even though I talked to the bro and he said that they had some things planned that were able to go through. So I
Okay.
understand that. But like even then, that just would have added to the match quality because the premise of the story I just wasn't into. Right. So I think right now this is a revamping of the mid card, which then goes into the whole essence of NXT as a whole. That mid card was so strong because there was too much talent and they couldn't be at the top. There's not enough talent that can go at the top because there's only two, meaning there's only one, and there's only Mello. When Mello becomes champion, I don't know who the fuck gonna challenge that nigga. Like who? There's nobody available for either male champion right now. So I do feel like on your end, he needs a challenger. Hopefully, this fatal 5-way will bring out a challenger, and then we can have a feud after that. Hopefully, that is what goes on. You know what I'm saying? So, but I
Mhm.
agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think that bringing Swole Grimes, maybe he can be a contender if he comes up with an edge. But I got to give my number 1 spot Wesley because he is like a like you said, a cardiac kid. He's like the lifeblood like of that division, and he is just like, yo, who's next? And like when he gets in that ring with people, God, guys all lights out. And I'm happy for him because he seems like he's having fun. He seems like he's doing it. He doesn't seem phased. That's what I mean. Like he don't seem phased out there at all. He comes out there and does his shit. But I'm like loving what he's doing. Uh, also a little bit of a honorable mention to Roxanne because I haven't talked about her in a couple of weeks, which I think her match with Mako Satomura was really good. So she's like under honorable mention for my underrated, which we've kind of like skipped over that. But yeah, I think what they're doing with her, giving her sympathy as well, has been good.
To me, I'm not necessarily. I guess we could have talked about it, but it's not. It's not. It's not. It's. It happened, and it's nothing. Honestly, to me, like you know what I mean. Like they like.
I'm just talking about the match. I just want to give it a little
Oh,
shout out. That's all.
okay,
Yeah, the
okay.
match was good. And honestly, the storyline too, like her being a student of Miko and being exhausted to the point where she finally pulls the victory, but she has to passes out of exhaustion. I like that. It was different. It was unique to me, even though the passing out portion has been reflected of Shawn Michaels, but the storyline getting to there, I haven't seen the student teacher with the student being the champion.
My only thing is who they make champion. It's either Cora Jade or Zoe Starks. They're the only two women who get the title.
I mean, I think you make Roxanne champion. Roxanne shouldn't like drop the title anytime soon.
What you think? But it's an open thing, ain't she? Is she gonna be the one that's coming challenging back for the title? I thought they do doing an open challenge for
the title. Is it vacant?
I think it's vacated if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that. My bad. I must have missed that part.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a good top five. Do we have anything else for the show?
Nah, that's it. I just think with Will Hobbs, get him the fuck away from QT Marshall, looking black, and don't you dare put him in some fake ass TMZ skit. Like everything around him, everything was wrong about that. Like that guy should not be there. Put it that way. That guy, Will Hobbs, should not be in TMZ. And then with this hokey ass laughing and bullshit that he did, it's embarrassing for me watching him in there. Like you can do the skits if you want, but take Will Hobbs out of there. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Why? I mean,
you like it? You like it? Tell me. Oh, you like it?
I mean, he broke into the cars and stole the thing. And
Will Hobbs no, he didn't break into the car. The other dude did, and he was just sitting there, and they laughing around, laughing, joking. He's like, ah, tough guy, but he's sitting there with these fucking jabronis. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what you do. You send it. Of course, Will Hobbs is not. Listen, shout out to Righteous Reg, right? He tweeted it. He was like, "Yo, y'all coming on this side? Please do not leave your valuables in the car. It really happens out here. Like for real. It happened to. I think it happened to Sasha Banks. It was on.
Where was this? Canada?
No, there was in California. I think there was in Sacramento, San Francisco, one or two.
Listen, the story I don't care about, but just the TMZ, you can take it from the car. That's fine. Don't put Will Hobbs sitting in a TMZ room. It just a TMZ boardroom with QT Marshall acting as if he's that dude from TMZ, and they're doing that skit shit. It was corny to me. It was so corny, and I don't want Will Hobbs associated with corny shit. Get him out of there. Like, don't put him in that setting anymore. Like, this is a threat. This is Will Hobbs, powerhouse. We should not be sitting in an office.
Powerhouse.
That's all, man.
Oh, man.
Looking forward to Logan Paul, Impulsive, live on Raw.
We talk about things we care about on this podcast.
All right. Looking forward to Hell in a Cell, Finn Balor, Edge.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, absolutely. We called it. You know what I'm saying? Am I excited?
It's like it's the only thing you could freaking do.
Yeah, I'm excited about things that they said that they should do.
Yeah, I'm excited for Finn, his entrance. I hope he comes out in like a purple demon shit. That'd be dope.
Yeah, that's one thing I might be upset about that I missed live is a Finn demon entrance. You know what I'm saying?
Judgment Day, Purple Demon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, man, this 1:30. I'm
Yeah,
hungry. I better
get the
open
fuck out of
this.
here, bro.
Huh?
We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been a pleasure, bro.
We got
We
another
will.
one tomorrow, nigga, with the Black Guys Wrestling Podcast. Or today.
Shit, that's right. I was gonna actually talk to you about that on Wednesday before we got off the phone, but I don't know what happened on Thursday. Yeah, but let's end this right here. You guys tune in. We are doing a collab with the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast tomorrow. We'll get back and let you guys know what time. And we actually no, we're gonna be not. We're not going live.
We're not
So
gonna lie.
we're not
Yeah,
going live, but you guys will see that coming down the line. All
yeah.
right.
We got.
So
We
thank
just
y'all for tuning in. If you've been here with us,
got today, so hopefully we ain't blow our wad today. Boom.
yeah, yeah. So looking forward to that. Other than that, it is late. We got to get some sleep. Like we always say.
Hungry, nigga. I gotta go see what
So
food.
I've been trying to eat this entire podcast. You won't let me, dog. Nah, it's all good. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. All is love. Everything is wrestling. Check us out. Like this podcast on all the medias associated. Like it on YouTube. Appreciate y'all for listening all this time here with us. And we will see y'all next week. Same time, same place. Peace out
He's
and salutations.